They call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got them in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you. I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you
Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody said that it would all be fine. But to get where we're going, brother.
They move Boyd in motion. Penn gets it again inside to the 5. Touchdown, Dragons.
Terrific job leading on this offensive line. You got to love it. Coach Dodge always says is when in doubt, just blitz chin. He can always make a play, and he's always so lethal on the edge. But what a play by Jackson Oakley.
Brenda to throw again. Under pressure, has a ton of running room out on the left side. One man to beat inside the 5, reaches for the goal line. Touchdown, Carroll. They're at quarterback. They bring Boyd in motion, get it to him on the wide receiver screen. Pitch to Penn outside, inside the 20. A foot race to the pylon. Davis Penn. Give it to him again. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Harris looks to throw under pressure. Hit, gonna be sacked. Getting in for the stop for the Dragons is Kyle Duras on the stop.
Defense led the way in the Dragons' win over the Blue Raiders. This week, an undefeated regular season is on the line against Keller Central.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Dragon Football Night pregame show sponsored by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Now here are your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
From Dragon Stadium in Southlake, it's the Carroll Dragons against the Keller Central Chargers in the regular season finale. Our broadcast tonight presented by Whitechapel Methodist Church. Hi there, happy Halloween. Welcome into the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, our director Tim Polster, and statistician Monty Clegg. Well, Carroll on the verge of another undefeated regular season. Dragons went to 9-0 last week after a 49-0 win over LD Bell, locked up another district title, their 7th in 8 years, under Riley Dodge. Central, meanwhile, has been much improved this year. The Chargers 5-3 overall, 3-3 in district play, and fighting for that final playoff spot in District 4 6A. We'll get to the LD Bell game, the Chargers, and the playoff picture over the next half hour. But, Robert, tonight is senior night. So as we begin festivities here pregame, what's going through the mind of these seniors as they get ready for this home game?
Well, Chris, I think it's always an emotional night, especially for the seniors who poured so much into the program over the last 4 years. You know, you think about all the practices, the early mornings, the big wins, and the tough losses. Though they went through so much together. You know, for a lot of these guys, you know, this is their last regular season game at Dragon Stadium, so there's definitely pride and maybe a few nerves. But once kickoff happens, you know, they'll lock in and focus and finish strong and setting the tone heading in the playoffs, and most likely. Well, we know for sure they're going to be back at Dragon Stadium first round of the playoffs.
Well, last week against the Blue Raiders, Carroll led 14-0 at halftime, went on to win 49-0, but just a 14-point lead at halftime. We say that in jest because the expectations are what they are for the Dragons. But what did that illustrate when it comes to how teams can stay in games against Carroll? What did you see last week?
Well, I think it was the first time that we saw the Dragons having to drive the length of the field. You know, they were getting the ball average inside the 10 on their own 10 almost the first 4 possessions of the game. And so, I mean, that takes a lot of time off the clock. I think LD Bell did a good job of just, you know, sticking to their run game and controlling the clock. And Carroll only had about 3 to 4 possessions that whole first half. One resulted in a 4-and-out. Then, you know, they barely lost that touchdown there at the end of the second quarter. So it could have been 21-0 at half. But again, you know, I don't know if Riley likes to start, you know, at inside the 10-yard line, but it was a great experience for the team getting used to just moving the ball down the field.
On the other side of the field tonight, we'll see a Central team that is much improved over the last couple of years. 0-10 in 2023, 1-9 in 2024, but 5-3 this year. It's the second year rather, for head coach Eric Vance. How have things changed for the Chargers?
Well, I think you definitely see the growth. You know, Coach Vance has put his stamp on this program. The kids understand the system. They're playing faster. There's a lot more confidence on both sides of the ball when you watch the film. You know, offensively, they've got some balance. And defensively, they're competing every snap. The record might not fully show it yet, but this is a team that's much more disciplined and fundamentally sound than a year ago. You can tell they're heading in the right direction under Vance. You're talking about a program that 2 years ago was 0-10.
Well, coming up on the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show, we'll hear from Carroll head coach Riley Dodge and bring you tonight's starting lineups. But first, we've got a guest picker plus some senior night recognition coming up on the Dragon Sports Network.
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Taking a look at senior night recognition going on here at Dragon Stadium before Carroll takes on Keller Central tonight. Chris Blake with Robert Clayton as we continue on the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show. And we're about to talk about some of these seniors, but first, Robert, we have a special guest in the booth here on Halloween to make a guest pick. It is Chewbacca from Star Wars. How do we get him up here?
I have no idea. Chewie, welcome.
Well, we got Dragons and Chargers, Chewy. Which one of those mascots is going to take it tonight? Robert, I hear you are the translator, right?
I think it's the Dragons.
Got the Dragons?
What Chewy is saying, Chris. So
I think that's the smart pick.
I think it's a wise pick. So good job, Chewy.
All right, well, Chewy off to whatever Halloween responsibilities he has for the rest of the night.
Chewy says thank you for having him, and he says Dragons for a state championship this year. Great job, Chewy.
Man, we're putting more and more people on the record week after week with their picks for the state title. Well, it is senior night, and let's talk a little bit about this senior class because it is a group that has accomplished a ton here, starting with senior starters. We know there's a ton of seniors in this group, but the starters are who we've got on these graphics. We'll talk about everybody over the course of the game, but when you look at this group of seniors on the offensive side of the ball, it's a core of this offense that has not lost more than a handful of games over the course of their entire UIL careers.
Well, I'm telling you, not even off of the defense, too. It's incredible when you think about it. This senior class has set an unbelievably high standard, not just with the wins, but how they've carried themselves. They've been leaders in the locker room, in the classroom, and in the community. You know, you can't quote me on this, but maybe less than a handful of losses in the entire career. I think their consistency, the preparation, the buy-in to the Dragon culture. They've grown up together through this program. DYF through the middle school rank. I think tonight's a chance really just to celebrate everything they have built and the legacy they are leaving behind for these underclassmen that are taking the steps and carrying on the Dragon tradition.
Now, on the other side of the ball, the senior starters on defense, it's everybody. The entire defense for the Dragons is full of senior starters. Zach Hayes has been punting all season, but hasn't played defensive snaps since week 1. We may start to see him return to the mix this week or next, but this is a senior-laden group on defense that has just gotten better and better as the year's gone on.
Well, listen, this is one of the few times in I think the 10-year Rally's had, the head coach of the Dragons, you have a lot of depth. You have a lot of depth on this defense, and they played a lot of ball last year, and now you have a senior-laden defense this year, and they're showing up. This is the defense is, barely averaging over 7 points a game giving up. They're creating turnovers. They're flying to the ball. It's a lot like we talked to Coach Vance, Chris. He mentioned that he looks at the tape. There's not a whole lot of weaknesses when he watches film on this Carroll Dragon team, and I think that's a credit to these seniors.
And that defense, you mentioned, allowing an average of 7.9 points per game this season. Over the last 3 weeks, this defense has given up just 14 points. One of those touchdowns came on special teams, so it's been an outstanding stretch recently for the Dragon defense. Well, coming up next on the Clayton & Clayton Real Estate pregame show, we'll continue to talk about this senior class with head coach Riley Dodge. That's next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving in Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Welcome back to the Clayton & Clayton Real Estate pregame show. We get set for the regular season finale as Carroll gets ready to host Central. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. And Coach, going back to last week against LD Bell, one of the most prolific offensive performances you guys have put together this year, 700 yards of total offense. What'd you like about that performance, and how'd you rack up 700?
Yeah, it started off a little slow. We didn't get a lot of opportunities in the first half, but I'm super proud of the way our guys came out of the halftime and executed. We had a lot of long fields, and so we had some situations pop up that we haven't, you don't necessarily get an opportunity to practice, and we haven't had those opportunities in games. So super proud of the way our kids operated. But when you have 700 yards of total offense, it's pretty cool.
And two of your receivers had absolutely massive games. First half, it felt like it was kind of Brock Boyd's half. He had 10 catches on the day. Most of those were in the first half. And then Blake Gunter was a one-man wrecking crew in the second half. I know you guys don't keep yards after contact, but between those two, what'd you see from the way your receivers caught and then ran the ball afterwards?
Yeah, those two had a special night, and I think obviously it's not a surprise to us. It shouldn't be a surprise to Dragon Nation, but those two they practiced their tails off, and they reaped the fruit of their labor on Friday nights. But Blake had a heck of a night, and so did Brock. I think he had 5 or 6 broken tackles on that one run. He got tripped up by the 5-yard line. But just super proud of those two, and not a surprise.
The final wrinkle offensively I wanted to ask about was you put in a jumbo set with Parker Harris as kind of a wildcat quarterback. He scored a couple of touchdowns against LD Bell. What'd you like about that set, and what's kind of the motivation behind getting Parker some touches offensively?
I think it's a great weapon that we have. It could be third and short, fourth and short, or goal line situations, and something that we practiced last week, and we just got to continue to get better at. It was good to get on film to show certain defensive bodies that we're putting on the offense, how it should look, and we just got to keep getting better at that package.
Defensively, another shutout last week. The score was 49-0. The defense has now allowed 1 touchdown in the last 3 games. You guys have given up a couple. One was on special teams. I feel like I ask you this question every week, but what can you say about this senior-led defense right now?
Yeah, they're just playing with so much confidence, just so much conviction. I think that's the biggest, one of the things we talk about a lot of trust on that side of the ball. But it's by the way they practice. Our defense staff, Coach Munn, they do an unbelievable job getting those guys ready to go. But they have a high standard for what it should look like, and we have kids get upset about giving up first downs. You're barking up the right tree. And I think the one defense on the year has given up like 5 touchdowns all year, and it's pretty special.
I mentioned tonight is senior night. This is a senior-laden team. A junior-led group took you guys to the state championship game a year ago. Team that hasn't lost a lot at any level going back to the middle school days. How special is this group of seniors that'll graduate next spring?
Yeah, it's a group that means a lot to me. They've been in our system a long time, and watch them grow up from Dragon Youth football to middle school, and then obviously sub-varsity football, and then now they're with us, and they've been with us for a while now. Like you said, it's a special group, and they mean a lot to me for a lot of different reasons. But it's a group that's a bunch of winners. I think when this group graduates, down the road, we'll remember this class as winners.
Tonight's opponent, Central, has taken a step forward from last year. They're 5-3 overall, 3-3 in district play, kind of in the mix for that 4th playoff spot. What have you seen in their turnaround this season?
Yeah, just so impressed. Coach Vance has done an unbelievable job in his 2 years there. Took over a program that I think was lacking a little direction. And he came in there and gave him a shot to the arm with just energy. And their kids play extremely hard. Their scheme's really sound. But when you turn on the film, they are a playoff caliber football team, and they're playing to the very end. And I think that's the personality of their head coach and their staff. And I can't say enough great things about Eric Vance.
This is a team that runs the ball well. They're 6th in DFW among 6A teams, 230-plus rushing yards a game. Part of that is their sophomore quarterback, Isaiah Taylor. How does this rushing attack, how has it found success this year?
Yeah, it starts with him. He's special. We saw him when he was a freshman. And actually, our freshman team and their freshman team had a heck of a football game last year. That was a district championship. We ended up coming up on top, but he had a heck of an evening. He's had a great sophomore year. He's a playmaker. Has timely passes. Got some weapons on the outside too. They can hurt you. So we got to do a great job on him, or he'll make you look silly. He's done that quite a bit this year. And their running back number 32 is a really good player too. So we got to do a good job of getting our cleats in the ground and getting him on the grass.
That's Dragon head coach Riley Dodge before Carroll takes on Central tonight on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Inside, gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown, Dragons. Happy Halloween and welcome to Dragon Stadium for the regular season finale for the 9-0 Carroll Dragons. Dragons hosting Keller Central, the Chargers at 5-3, 3-3 in district play, fighting for that 4th and final playoff spot in District 4-6A. Hi there, Chris Blake alongside Robert Clayton, our statistician Monty Clegg, and director Tim Polster. Tonight, it is senior night here at Dragon Stadium, and the festivities on the field have just wrapped up. The seniors on the football team, in the band, on the drill team, and in the color guard, as well as the cheerleaders, were recognized over the public address system with their families before the game tonight. And Robert, we touched on this earlier, but so many football players, so many seniors in the other extracurriculars being recognized tonight. And yes, there's another playoff game at home in a couple of weeks here for the Dragons, but still kind of an end to your to a certain part of your high school career.
Well, it is a lot of emotions. It's not an easy feat what this Dragon team has done so far. You know, they're on the cusp of a 10-0 season. They go undefeated. Really, to cap that senior year And obviously you want to deliver a win at home, but you talk about a community. Everyone that's been recognized tonight, from the color guard to the band, to the drill team, to the cheerleaders, to the football team, it takes a community effort for things like this to happen, and also make it a special night. So it's a night that they're not going to forget. It's one of the first times they'll have their families on the field with them, and it's a special moment.
Carroll trying to go 10-0 again this season for the second straight season. In 8 seasons, Riley Dodge has had 6 10-0 regular seasons. So it's become setting a high bar to go unbeaten every year in the regular season for Coach Dodge. But the Carroll alma mater being played right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's starting lineups for the Dragons. That backfield for Carroll, the seniors Angelo Renda and Davis Penn. The wide receiver group features just one senior in Brock Boyd, Brody Knowles, Blake Gunter, and Caden Mackey, all juniors. And on the offensive line, a little bit of a change, right?
Yeah, so we do have Nathan Domraki. He will be out at left tackle, and you'll have Tristan Dare there at right tackle. Then C.J. Johnson and Will Barley will man the guard spots, and Kerry Clayton there at center. So a small change, but same guys on the field.
As we continue to shout out the seniors, Clayton and Domraki are the 2 seniors in that group of 5. On the defensive side, they're all seniors. These 4 up front, Crawford Taylor, Jake Lucky, Jackson Oakley, and Marcus Browse. The linebackers and corners, Taven Coons and Luke Busman on the outside, Robbie Ladd and Will Lyons, who have really started to play well over the last couple of weeks at those linebacker spots for the Dragons. And this mix of safeties, Chen, Strange, Busman, and Harris, 3 of those 4 usually on the field at any given point for Carroll. Well, the Chargers have just taken the field. We've got the coin toss going on right now at midfield. Coin toss brought to you by the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title. If you need title work, call Julie Walter. Captains out there for Carroll, Renda, Chen, Penn, and Lucky. Looks like Central has won the toss.
Keller Central won the toss. They have deferred their option to the second half.
So Central wins the toss, defers to the second half. The Dragons will get the ball first here. Our officiating crew tonight.
Southlake will receive. Gentlemen, good luck.
Our officiating crew tonight, the referee is Mike Acker, the umpire Steve Young, the head line judge Michael McGee, the line judge Nicholas Godfrey, the side judge is Kyle Yates, the field judge Jeremy Boyd, and the back judge is Daniel Matthews. So Robert, the Dragons have made the Dragon Walk. They are in the tunnel, ready to come out onto the field on senior night. Let's go ahead and take a look at your keys to the game this evening.
Yeah, I think number 1, you got to lock in at number 12, Isaiah Taylor. He's only a sophomore, but he's a guy who has multiple FBS offers. Most likely probably going to play in the secondary at the next level, but he is a guy who can get it done in all facets of the game. Look for him. Got to maintain his and control his scrambling ability. I think number 2 is dominate the line of scrimmage. You know, you've got to enforce your will on the Dragon defensive line and offensive line and control the game. And number 3, send the seniors out right on senior night. It is a big thing, and a lot of these guys play for each other. A lot of great leadership on this senior-laden team. So looking forward to tonight, and if they can take care of all this, Chris, should be a victory for the Dragons.
Well, if you're thinking about buying or selling your Southlake home, meet Robert Clayton and Karen Clayton Young with Clayton & Clayton Real Estate, recognized by both clients and industry professionals as some of the very best in Southlake and DFW. Robert and Karen bring expertise and hometown pride. As Carroll graduates, lifelong Dragons, Dragon parents, and 30-year residents, they are invested in the community and serve through nonprofits and youth sports benefiting Southlake and Carroll ISD. The Clayton team is committed to making your real estate experience seamless from start to finish. Clayton & Clayton Real Estate, where Dragons represent Dragons. Now here at halftime, we're going to get a chance to talk with Robert Clayton. It'll be certainly a riveting...
That you don't get enough of me already, Chris. But yes, my Karen will be, my sister will be joining us as well, and we'll talk a little bit about real estate and kind of our experience and journey here throughout Southlake as not only as mother and father and aunts and uncles, but as student athletes ourselves and what we've seen Southlake change over the last 30 to 40 years.
Well, the national anthem about to be sung at midfield. We'll pause for that. National anthem completed here at Dragon Stadium, and we are ready for Friday night football under the lights. Maybe our first kickoff that has come with the lights in full effect. Always love those nights when the sun is already set at kickoff. The intensity feels like it's ratcheted up just a little bit.
Well, you got the breeze in the air. It's that nice crisp fall night. You got Halloween. It is a beautiful landscape across the Southlake and in the Grapevine here in Colleyville. I tell you what, this is the place to be.
63 degrees tonight. Not much wind to speak of tonight, so it shouldn't be a factor. Earlier this week, some pretty strong wind gusts, but tonight wouldn't expect it to affect the game too much as Carroll gets ready to receive to start this one. So the Dragons have already wrapped up the District 4-6A title. That's always goal number one for head coach Riley Dodge. Central, meanwhile, is fighting for a playoff spot. Chargers still in the mix at 3-3. The District 4-6A standings have Byron Nelson at 5-1 and Trinity at 4-2, right behind the Dragons. Those two can both clinch a playoff berth tonight with wins. Meanwhile, LD Bell, Central are tied at 3-3. Keller is 3-4. Eaton has to win tonight to stay alive in the playoff race. And that's an Eaton team that takes on Timber Creek tonight in Keller.
Yeah, so I think we know pretty much that the three spots of the four going into the playoffs, but that four spot, wish we could give you a determination who's going to fill that spot tonight. Most likely we're not going to come away with that. It's going to take another week. Again, next week will be the Dragons off week and bye week to get a little freshen up before the playoffs.
Well, this one will go into the end zone on the kickoff off the foot of Jace Lauder, senior kicker. He's still handling kickoff duties, but we'll talk about this as we go on. They've made a change at kicker, have the Chargers, over the last couple of weeks. It's one of their starting linebackers, senior Austin Martin, who we'll see in this group coming onto the field for Central right now. And it's this Carroll offense under the leadership of senior quarterback Angelo Renda, getting the ball first at the 25. Dragons on offense averaging 52.2 points per game this year as Boyd goes in motion left to right. Renda will throw on first down, flips it out to Gunter on a little screen pass. He gets across the 30-yard line before he's brought down after a short gain.
Yeah, you talk about this Dragon offense has been hitting on all cylinders all year. Last week, racking up over 700 yards of offense and picking up where they left off. A good 7-yard gain here on first down. And again, this is a Central defense that's been rebuilding, led by those two linebackers, Austin Martin, Holden Myers.
On second down, Davis Penn gets it. Good blocking outside, and he is tripped up, stepped on the sideline right as he neared midfield for a Dragon Den first down. One thing to note, Isaiah Taylor, the quarterback, number 12, is out there with this starting defensive group as we get a look at the Rico Revolution replay.
Yeah, it's a great little toss sweep there on the outside for Davis Penn, and great blocking on the perimeter again by the Dragon receivers. And that is interesting, Chris. You know, you have Taylor out there playing safety. His brother will play corner as well, his twin brother. It's something Coach Vance says he doesn't like to do, but he might have to.
3 down front. They get it into the flat. This is Mackey making the reception. Keeps the legs moving to the 40-yard line for another first down, brought to you by Dragon Den.
Again, this Dragon offense, getting those perimeter passes we talked about in the past, it's like an extension of the running game. They're getting out there on the perimeter, allowing the big physical receivers making the blocks, and really it just gets some yardage after the catch.
So the starting defense for the Chargers, Alexander Matos, Chance David, and Julian Andrade, the 3-down linemen, as Davis Penn gets it on first down, right up the middle for a short gain.
Again, a little inside zone by Davis Penn. Davis Penn's come on here as of late in the year. Again, I think it's taking some time to get adjusted back from the knee injury. He's done a terrific job. He's really solidified that top spot at running back, and he's doing an excellent job, and guy they're depending on that first and second down.
Linebackers for the Chargers, Gabe Morton, Austin Martin, Holden Myers, and Luke Hamilton, all seniors except for Morton. Boyd goes in motion here. They swing it out to him in the flat across the 40-yard line. He will step out of bounds along that Dragon sideline, gain him about 3 on the play.
Chris, you mentioned those senior linebackers. Austin Martin, who's actually a prolific soccer player, was actually district player of the year his sophomore year. A guy Coach Vance didn't know if he was going to get back on the defense or what his commitment was coming off an 0-10 season. He says he's just an incredible athlete. If he wanted to, he can go play at the next level. And he said Holden Myers, he's just got a nose for the ball.
Yeah, he praised those 2 linebackers as some of the leaders of this defensive unit. 3rd and short for Carroll. They've got to get to the 29. Penn gets the handoff. He's going to be dragged down by Holden Myers, shy of the line to gain, but it's going to be 4th and short.
Well, you saw a huge surge by the offensive line. We just mentioned Holden Myers, number 41. Again, Coach Vance said he has a nose for the ball, and sometimes he doesn't know if he's just guessing or if he just knows where the play is going, but he always seems to find a great job by Holden Myers in chasing that down.
In the secondary for the Chargers, by the way, the cornerbacks, Jeremiah Taylor and Jamari McGee, both sophomores. The safeties, Gabe Cobbs and Micah Williams. Gunter goes in motion out to the right. They give it to Penn running up the middle. Big hole. He's going to go. Davis Penn. No one touched him into the end zone for 6.
What a job by this Carroll offensive line. When you get a running back untouched in the second level and all the way to the touchdown or end zone, incredible job. What a block by Will Barley and Kerry Clayton, the left guard and center. And he goes relatively untouched into the central second level, and no one touches Davis Penn for a Dragon touchdown.
31 yards on the run for Penn. Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. The CLC roofing point after try by Gavin Strange is good. So Davis Penn gets into the end zone on the ground for the 14th time this year with 9:42 to go in the first quarter. It's Carroll 7 and Central nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy. With delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
Gavin Strange kicks this one fieldable for the Chargers. It's going to be fielded by Anthony France and running along the left sideline and finally pushed out of bounds after he crossed the 30 to the 34-yard line. For the Dragons, a 7-play, 75-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 18 seconds off the clock to start this one. And now we will get to see this Charger offense led by the sophomore quarterback Isaiah Taylor, who has had a huge impact on this program as just a 10th grader.
It starts and stops with Isaiah Taylor. And, Coach Vance mentioned that
on first down, they pitch it in the backfield, and a big hit for a loss by William Chen. He pitched it to Spencer Martin, the junior running back, and Chen read it perfectly.
Yeah, you talk about this is the Dragon defense. They're staying at home, but playing their responsibilities, covering the option, which isn't easy, and then you're playing man for man, and Chen makes the big stop, which he's done all season long. And this is a Charger team that, their bread and butter starts around Isaiah Taylor. They've got to get him in rhythm and get him moving the ball down the field and utilizing his speed.
Loss of 5 on first down. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Martin gets it again, trying to find somewhere to go up the middle. Nowhere to run as Jake Lucky is in on the stop.
We talk about this Dragon defensive line, the fearsome foursome. They've done something incredible this year. They've really controlled that line of scrimmage and allowed those linebackers to play. But not only have they done that, but Jake Lucky, he just dominates that center and the A-gaps and makes it really tough for anyone like this Central team that loves to run the midline option right there behind the center.
Dragons going with 3 down linemen here on third down. Third and long. It was just a gain of 2 for Martin on that play. Taylor looking to throw. Goes over the middle. It is complete but well short of a first down. Up to the 40-yard line goes Jeremiah Parker, the senior receiver. Their leading receiver with 351 yards on the year.
Yeah, you'll see Isaiah Taylor be able to, if you give him some time in the pocket, he does have success there on those intermediate slants and then those comeback routes. You've got to get pressure on him. And Jeremiah Parker, their one receiver, he's made some plays this year.
Eric Vance going for it on fourth down. Taylor rolling out, dumps it short along the Central sideline, and it is hauled in by Parker again. They sprung him free, and he was open.
He had a little crossing route by Jeremiah Parker, and that's the connection between these two, Taylor and Parker. You give some time, and Taylor can make the accurate throws. It's when you get pressure on Taylor where he has a difficult time making those accurate throws. So this Dragon defense, you got to apply the pressure on him.
The rest of this offense, left to right up front, goes Kean Harris, Colin Reed, Braden Pitaro, DeAndre Henry, and Parker Robertson. Parker, one of the receivers, along with Jeremiah Taylor, Braylon Dixon, and Vincent Beck. On first down, design run for Taylor. Left side, trying to bounce it outside across the 50, 45, 40, and stepped out of bounds as he crossed into Dragon territory at the 40-yard line.
And this is their number one play. This is what we call a GY counter. Is when they take the tight end, kicks out the end, the guard pulls up on the linebacker, right in between the 3-hole, the 4-hole, and then it's just all Isaiah Taylor using his speed, a designed run, a designed counter, quarterback counter.
And Taylor on the year, just over 1,100 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, as he will give it to Martin on first down here, spinning his way through some contact, fighting for extra yardage, and will be marked down at the 36.
Yeah, this is something that this Charger team is going to have to do. I don't think they're going to have a whole lot of success just running simple zone plays against this Dragon defense. They're going to have to change it up. They're going to have to pull their linemen, play some gap schemes, and get their athletes out in front really to move the ball.
Martin, their leading rusher, 794 yards on the year coming in with 10 touchdowns. 2nd and 6. Carroll shows pressure, brings it. Taylor pressured, pumps, and is going to be hit. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like he will be right back to that 36-yard line.
It was a great job by Robbie Ladd just staying home and not taking the fake and keeping Taylor there in the pocket and allowing his teammates to come and corral. Isaiah Taylor, he's a special talent only as a sophomore. And he's a guy Coach Vance mentions that he inherited this group as a freshman group, and he has a lot of expectations. They're the 2028 class. They're very talented.
Dragons rush 4. Taylor flips it out. Sideline, caught. It's going to be very close. There's a flag down on the far side of the field. near the central sideline. We'll wait to see what this call is.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
And that's a killer for the Chargers when it looked like you may have had the first down, and this backs you up.
Well, it's tough. This has been the name for a lot of offense against the Dragon defenses. They essentially shoot themselves in the foot. You know, they have some positive plays. They're on the brink of a first down, and then they get a penalty of some kind. You know, it's tragic for an offense that's going against a very stellar Dragon defense.
3rd and 11 now. The lone receiver right side is Jeremiah Taylor, the sophomore, the brother of the quarterback Isaiah Taylor. Dragons rush 4 again. Taylor flush to the left, being chased by Crawford. Taylor has a little bit of space, fires along the sideline, and it's caught right at the marker. Let's see where they spot it. They're going to move the chains. Taylor keeps it alive and gets the first down.
In number 12, this is what he can do. You know, he has the ability, he has the escape ability, and he can extend plays. Then it becomes backyard football, and he catches them right there on the sideline. Almost a collegiate catch there, collegiate NFL catch, 2 feet down. Great job by the central receiver.
It's Braylon Dixon, the junior, making that grab. Dragon Den first down for the Chargers. 2 backs in the backfield. Taylor's going to keep it. Trying to find a little space, is going to be tied up, and forward progress stopped in the backfield. Swarm of green jerseys there, led by Robbie Ladd and Jackson Oakley.
Incredible job by the Dragon defense. Again, they're moving these offensive linemen and trying to get some movement out in space and pulling them, but great job on just staying home and corralling Taylor, the quarterback. That's what it's going to take all night.
So a couple of guys in the backfield with Taylor. It's Spencer Martin. It's Aiden Tucker, sophomore running back. And the referee's asking for the play clock to be reset here. Now the clock resumes. Again, 2 backs alongside Taylor. On 2nd and 11. Dragons showing pressured. Don't bring it. Taylor trying to find running room, is going to be tied up and dragged down out of bounds. Marcus Browse with the sack for the Dragons.
Well, you'll see this Charger offense. They love to roll out Taylor and try to get him on the perimeter. He does that so quickly. He wants the Dragons to catch him in a tough spot. But I tell you what, Marcus Browse making a huge hit. Getting Taylor down was not an easy feat. But talk about Marcus Browse. This guy puts his hand on the ground. He also goes back in the linebacker. He's that hybrid outside linebacker edge. What a terrific job Marcus Browse has done this year.
Sacks brought to you by Life's Medicine. Start your ultimate recovery with Life's Medicine, located on Southlake Boulevard. 3rd and 17. Taylor, left sideline. Incomplete, batted away by Taven Coons for the Dragons, and it'll be 4th down.
That's about as good as you get on a pass coverage, Chris. Again, had a little comeback route, and Taven Coons ran it the whole way. Great break on the ball and getting that pass deflection.
Central looks like it's going to go for it here on 4th and 17. I guess you don't gain a ton by punting here, and probably out of field goal range. Now they will run one of the kicking units on. Play clock running down to 10. Dragons trying to run some guys on. Down to 5. Someone's probably going to have to take a timeout here. They're not going to be allowed to snap the ball. And a delay of game going to be called on the Chargers, backing them up 5 before a punt. Doesn't necessarily hurt you that much.
Looks like a fire drill.
Delay of game. Number 28, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So it buys them a little more room to punt it away here. Again, we said we would talk a little bit more about this young man, but Austin Martin was described as turning into Mr. Everything for this team. He is the kicker. He's the punter. He's one of the starting inside linebackers.
A guy who has a lot of athletic ability, and it jumps on film. When I watched film this week, he was the guy that stood out the most, just playing from sideline to sideline, making plays.
And he drops his punt at the 2, but it does bounce through the end zone for a touchback, but shows you what kind of accuracy he has there trying to pin Carroll deep.
Well, I think Coach Vance, he's got to know that you've got to force Carroll to go the length of the field, right? I mean, I think that's what any team going against Carroll is going to have to do. You can't give them the ball at the 40 or the 45 or even the 35. You got to create long field situations. Even though there might not be that much gain from a punt, you still got to get Carroll to fight for every bit and every single yard.
The Chargers did hold the ball for 5 minutes and 12 seconds, which is what we talk about as part of the thing you got to do against the Dragons, but need to come up with points at some point. As Davis Penn gets it on first down, bounces off of a tackle, falls forward for a short gain up to the 29. Gain of 4 on the play.
A big play by Austin Martin. We just talked about number 28. Getting in there and forcing the cutback and tripping up Davis Penn. This is the Dragon offense. That first series, Chris, they found a lot of success on the ground, and I love seeing that they're starting to lean on that a little bit right now.
One back to each side for Renda. Now Gunter motions out of the backfield. Flags fly. This is going to be a false start.
False start, number 60 and 68. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
The rare false start penalty called on the Dragons. Puts them in 2nd and 11. Ball back at their own 19. It's still Gunter and Penn in the backfield. They motion Blake out of the backfield. Give it to Davis, running right side. Short gain on the play as he crosses the 20-yard line.
Good job on the Charger defense just here in the first 2 downs on stopping the Dragon run game and forcing it. If they can bounce it outside or force it outside, get out of the interior of that offensive line of Southlake. That really is just road graders. They're not Southlake's not a big outside zone team or an outside run team. They're right there in the bread and butter in the inside zone. So great job by the Chargers so far this series.
Tight ended in the game for Carroll here. John Mark Fraga on the right side of the line.
Timeout. Carroll, that's their first timeout of the first half.
But before the Dragons snap the ball on 3rd down, Riley Dodge wants to use a timeout. Timeouts sponsored by Carroll ISD Special Olympics. 2:55 to go in the first. It's the Dragons 7 and the Chargers nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Carroll uses its first timeout of the night before this 3rd down and 7 play from their own 27. Renda to throw. Has pressure, lofts it down the right sideline for Boyd. It is tipped and incomplete. What a play in the secondary by Jeremiah Taylor, as it looked like Boyd had a step.
This is a rarity that you see this, Chris. They went out and played man-to-man against this Dragon receiving corps, and Angelo recognized it and just threw it up to Boyd. What a play by Taylor there. Great job.
So Carroll will punt here. Zach Hayes to punt it away. The senior will kick to Anthony France, another senior who is back to receive. Hayes has it bounce at the 45. France will let it roll. It is touched by Central, and the Dragons have it. I don't know what the Chargers were doing as they went up to try to grab that football. Oh, they're going to rule this as Central ball.
You've got to, I know Coach Vance is preaching this on the sideline. You've got to call Peter, get out of the way. Absolutely no Charger should be around this ball right now. And that is a Dragon football. If you're sitting at home watching this replay, that bounced off a Charger defender into the hands of a Carroll Dragon. That's going to be a botch call by this ref staff. And that's going to be a call that Riley's going to send in, come Monday. That's a tough break.
Well, it winds up being Chargers ball anyway after the punt. They come out with 2 receivers each side, trailing 7-0 with just over 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Martin gets the handoff. Is going to be hit at the line, dropped after a 1-yard gain by Crawford Taylor.
Great job by Crawford Taylor, just running the heel line and getting the running back. You're going to see they're going to run this little midline option right behind the center, and they're going to slip the guards here and there. They're trying to play angles on this Dragon defensive line, trying to get some type of leverage to get the ball there in the middle of the field and get a first down.
Receiver comes in motion here for the Chargers. Taylor going to take it himself on a design quarterback run, tried to cut it upfield, and is hit after a gain of 3 to the 40-yard line.
Another great job by the senior Crawford Taylor in hot pursuit. He's just a guy that has no stop in his engine, Chris. His motor runs so high and so hot. It's a big night for this senior.
If you're Central, even if these runs in between the tackles are only gaining you 1, 2, 3 yards at a time, you still got to stay true to those just to keep the defense honest.
Well, you've got to have some type of run game. You just can't sit back and live in the pocket all day. Now, you're going to see they're going to have to get Taylor out on a design rollout. They're going to have to do those things, and Dragons are going to put pressure on them.
They throw a short pass left side, incomplete. The intended target for the Chargers was Braylon Dixon.
Well, we talked about that. You bring Kuntz on a blitz there. Anything that you can get in the face of Taylor to get him inaccurate, and you'll see this on film, and maybe got a little bit of a piece of that a little bit. But again, you've got to create him to make quick decisions and not allow him to get in a rhythm. That's how you disrupt Isaiah Taylor. It's just you've got to constantly put pressure on him.
So Martin will punt it away to Parker Harris. On 4th down for Central. Low punt, hits at across the 40-yard line, goes out of bounds along the Dragons sideline. So not as good of a punt the second time out for Martin as his first effort. And the Dragons will get the ball back with 1:14 to go in the first.
We talked a little bit about this week, just you and I, Chris. This Charger team is going to, they're going to promote some challenges for the Carroll offense just in terms of the athletes that they have on the field. It's going to be a great test for this Dragon offense and defense. That they have guys that can break it wide open, and there are some guys that can play some man-to-man coverage as well.
Dragons haven't seen a ton of man coverage this season for their receivers. What kind of experience does that give them?
Well, I think you're going to get, as you get further in the playoffs, you're going to find those type of teams that can line up and play man coverage. And you've got to get used to it. Most of the time the Dragon receivers are used to, the corners playing 6-7 yards off the field or off the ball and just playing that cover 2 or cover 3. So it makes it pretty easy. So
Davis Penn gets the carry on 1st down. Myers and Martin combine on the stop for the Chargers. Vance telling us that Myers, if you saw him in street clothes, you'd say, that guy's a linebacker? Then you see him on the field in pads, and he gets to the ball. Renda plenty of time, throws it short, complete to Knowles, fighting forward for a short gain.
And speaking of Holden Myers, a big play right there, and Coach Vance said he feels he's one of the best linebackers in the district. And he's a guy that very unassuming, Chris, like you mentioned, that he wasn't sure what he did. He used to talk to him and say, hey, are you just picking your gap or how are you doing this? And he came to find out that he just has the nose for the ball.
Yeah. He thought he might be guessing it first, but then do it enough times, it's not a guess anymore. He just finds the football. So 3rd down here for the Dragons. Trying to get to the 45. Renda facing pressure from behind. Throws it down the left side, incomplete. Looking for Mackey. Faced pressure from the backside from Gabe Morton. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. So Dragons with a 7-0 lead after 12 minutes of play.
The first quarter.
Here at Dragon Stadium on senior night. They've got a 4th down decision coming up on the other side on the Dragon Sports Network.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Excellence in Carroll athletics. An incredible 11 members of this team went on to play Division I golf, representing Dragon Nation at the next level of pride and success. Let's give a big round of applause to the 2015 Carroll men's golf team state champions.
Start of the second quarter here at Dragon Stadium, and Riley Dodge will punt this one away on 4th down and 7. The Charger defense coming up with a couple of nice plays.
Resuming action.
Stopping the Dragons short of first down yardage. Holden Myers involved in a couple of them. And Hayes will kick it away to France. The Chargers on the last punt for Carroll caught a break as it looked like the Dragons recovered a fumble. Hayes gets this one away. France will let this one bounce. He fields it at the 20 and returns it about 5 yards to the 25.
And I think if you're at home, you're watching this, you're seeing this Charger team, the poise, they do have a lot of sophomores, but they also have a lot of seniors, and a lot of seniors in dedicated spots that are really the strength of their team is that linebacking core. And then, interesting, Coach Vance rolling out Isaiah Taylor there to the safety spot. It's allowing this defense to drop down and play a little bit more man coverage. And it's creating a few little wrinkles here against this Dragon offense.
Now, he said it didn't love the idea of having his quarterback play both ways, but now you got to win to get those try to fight your way into the playoffs. May not have a choice as Martin spins forward to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think any coach ever really wants their quarterback out there playing both ways. And I think that's why you're seeing him at a safety spot versus a corner spot tonight, allowing him to play kind of a blanket coverage, come up and make some plays, but also pose a threat. But I think Coach Vance knows that he needs his best players on the field at all time right now.
2 weeks to go. Battling for that 4th spot in District 4 6A. Dragons, told you, have wrapped up the district title. Byron Nelson and Trinity looking like the 2 and 3 seeds. Second down. Taylor flips it out. Martin, big hit in the backfield. William Chen, the first one there. Then a gang of Dragons right behind him. But Chen finds a way to blow up these plays in the backfield.
Is what Coach Dodge says. The defensive staff always says, when in doubt, blitz Chen. He just makes plays after plays after plays. The reigning defensive player of the year for the district. I tell you what, his nose always finds the ball in big play opportunities. Great job by William Chen.
Had 6 tackles, 1 for a loss last week against LD Bell. 3rd down and 7 after a loss on the play. Taylor looking to throw along that Chargers sideline and throws it up across the 35, and this one's going to be hauled in. Jeremiah Parker again. Or check that. That's going to be Jeremiah Taylor on the reception to move the chains.
That's a brother-to-brother combo there, Isaiah to Jeremiah. And I tell you what a catch. We're talking about the catch and athletic ability. Again, that's the NFL catch right there by Jeremiah Taylor. Terrific job.
They've used the sideline well
in the
passing game so far. 1st and 10. Again, they go to the sideline. This is going to be caught by Jeremiah Taylor, and he moved the chains for a 1st down.
And this Jeremiah Taylor, I tell you what, he's got offers from, I think Coach Vance said Texas Tech is among the few that have offered him. He's a special athlete, again, the twin brother of Isaiah Taylor. And they can just play ball. They're just guys you want on the field. They can make plays.
1st downs tonight brought to you by Dragon Den. 2 minutes into the second quarter, Dragons on top 7-0. Chargers look to the sideline for a new play. Carroll again, 3 down linemen here. As Isaiah Taylor will hand it off to Martin, who is brought down after a short gain. Will Lines, William Chen in there.
Again, this is not something they've been able to get going a lot, the Chargers, but they've got to run the ball a little bit. We talked about it before. They've got to keep the Dragon defense honest, and they're doing this really just for protocol measures, just to open up the passing game just a little bit.
France into the game. He's going to motion across left to right. Martin on the handoff makes a couple of defenders miss, has some running room across the 40, 35-30, still on his feet as he steps out of bounds across the 20-yard line. Biggest gainer of the night for the Chargers, up to the Dragons 17.
Well, we talk about not getting it going, and then immediately they get in it with the inside zone by Martin. And again, this is a great job, just breaking tackles against the Dragon defenders. Shifty and nifty, getting there in the second level and making the most of it. A great job by Spencer Martin.
31 yards on the carry, gets him into the red zone. Again, 2 backs in the backfield here. They'll motion Vincent Beck, the receiver number 9, left to right. Isaiah Taylor will hand it off to Martin. He sold me on that one. Dragons say the ball came out. Officials say he was down, it would appear, and it will be Chargers ball.
Well, it's a great zone read by Isaiah Taylor. Great job. Faked this out up here in the booth and hand off to Martin.
Ball did come out. Maybe they're going to just saying forward progress was stopped. Either way, it's 2nd and 10. Martin gets it again. This time the ball is out. It's loose on the turf, scooped up by Carroll. Chargers are pointing the other direction, saying they have it back. I think that may be the case.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
2 fumbles on the same play.
Terrific job by William Chin here, just locating the ball carrier and just ripping the ball out. This is what they're taught to do. If we're in a standstill, rip the ball out. Great job by William Chin.
And it's picked up by the Dragons, never fully controlled, and the Chargers able to get back on it.
That was going to be my question, if they're going to count it as holding possession for Carroll, because it would have been a first set of downs for the Chargers.
Instead, it is. Wait, they have first down on the field and 3rd down on the scoreboard. Taylor being chased and dropped for a sack.
Taylor on the quarterback keeper.
Well, it looks like they
unclear. Looks like they gave him a new set of downs after all.
It looks like they did count that as a possession for the Dragons and then turn over into a first down for the Chargers.
Been a little bit of a stop and start beginning to this game. This allows Central to, if nothing else, keep the ball away from the Dragons' offense for just a little bit longer. 2nd down. Martin gets it again. Nowhere to go. Big hit up the middle. Crawford Taylor again. Will Lines in there to finish it off.
Terrific job by the linebacking crew. Robbie Ladd in there just making a huge hit, making the stop. And they've got to do this. Now you've got to put him in this 3rd down situation. If I'm Coach Munn, I'm going to put some pressure on Taylor. Make him throw a difficult throw. You do it under pressure.
They come out with 2 receivers each side on 3rd and 13. Got to get to the 15-yard line of the Dragons. Carroll showing pressure. I only bring 4. Dump it out. Nearly intercepted. Luke Bussman almost jumped the route, but it was broken up by Jeremiah Parker.
We talked about the little bit of some pressure. He's created some errant throws by Isaiah Taylor. This is no different. Watch the pressure. Great job right in his face, forcing the early throw. And almost a pick there for Luke Bussman.
And there would have been a lot of grass in front of Bussman had he come up with that interception.
Of course, I'd love to see number 8 back on the field there at defensive end.
Zach Hayes getting into the game, Coach Riley Dodge said, some pass rush situations might be where they start to work
Central.
Hayes back into the mix.
That is their first time out of the first half.
We see him here on these 3rd and 4th and longs. Well, the Chargers use their first time out of the half. Brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. 6:15 to go in the second quarter. It's Carroll 7, Central nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
A big 4th down here coming up for Central. Their defense has bent but not broken a couple of times against the Dragons, but like LD Bell last week, they've got to find a way to get points on the board. So 4th and 13. Taylor looking to throw, steps up in the pocket. It's going to loft one up towards the end zone and incomplete. They're going to say this was uncatchable. There was some contact there, but well out of bounds. Intended target was Jeremiah Taylor. It's a turnover on downs.
I think you've got to look at that as, the youth playing a part there for Isaiah Taylor. There wasn't much pressure, and you just throw him some prayer up. And you've got to tap that, and you've got to go make a play and go run and try to get the first down. He wants that back. I'm sure Coach Vance is saying, hey, no one's there. You've got to take off. You've got to go make something happen. That's a tough throw to make.
And maybe the best pocket he's had all night. So a new set of downs, or Carroll offense, I should say, returning to the field now with just over 6 minutes to go before halftime. Gunter tight to the formation on the left side. Boyd and Mackey to the left. Brooks Biggers into the game at running back. Biggers going to get the carry. He's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. Forward momentum brings him forward for a gain of a yard. Be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, you got to love what this Charger defense is doing. They don't have a whole lot of guys there in the box, what it looks like, but they have a lot of guys pushed down, the safeties as well. Number 7, they're creating some havoc there right now for this Dragon offense.
2nd down, Renda chased, flushed out to the left, going to tuck it and try to run, gets across the 30-yard line, out of bounds along that Chargers sideline. It'll be 3rd and manageable, and mark him out at the 34.
Yeah, the Dragon offense, again, trying to get the run game going, but again, you're in a 3rd down situation. You've got to get to your big play receivers. Let them make some plays in space.
They're kind of picking and choosing their spots with Isaiah Taylor. He just came back onto the field for this 3rd down play. Renda will throw. Left side caught. Knowles has the Dragon Den first down, tackled there by Jamari McGee.
A great job on Knowles just coming back on the comeback route. Such a big target at 6'5", 6'6". That's an easy pitch and catch for Renda and Knowles. But again, you're seeing this Charger defense really kind of rolling out and going this man-to-man coverage.
First down, they go to the air. Mackey has a couple of blockers out in front of him and will be brought down after a short gain of a couple of yards by Gabe Cobb.
And this is really what that Charger defense is trying to do. They're trying to eliminate these little pop passes there off to this perimeter and really bring down the safeties with the athleticism to make the play. And if they don't make it, it's touchdown or bust. But they're doing a great job on getting down and getting the Dragon receivers.
Trips right for Carroll. Boyd has it knocked away. It was Jeremiah Taylor getting off his block and batting that one down.
Again, one-to-one battle. You talk about Jeremiah Taylor, playing that corner spot. He's a big physical guy, and he's tough, and this is going to be a challenge. It's been a challenge for these Dragon receivers.
So 3rd down and 7. Davis Penn checks back into the game at running back before this 3rd down play. Renda gives it to Penn, makes a couple of defenders miss, has the first down and more up to the 41-yard line. A Dragon Den first down.
And Riley sees us when the box isn't stacked. You got to go, and a great job by Davis Penn hitting on the backside with C.J. Johnson here. Just collapses the front side, and great job cut back lane for Davis.
They go quickly, and Penn going to be stopped at the line by Alexander Matos, junior defensive end.
By the Chargers, number 88, Alexander Matos. No official gain on the play.
Biggers returns to the game now. Fraga back in there at tight end for Carroll as well. But what is it that this Chargers defense has done well so far in this first half?
I think, well, they're playing man-to-man coverage, and I think they're not stacking the box. They're letting the athletes play, and they're letting the linebackers make plays. So you're looking at almost a variation of a 3-3 stack. And so you're trying to stop the run a little bit, but you're also putting a lot of pressure on that passing game.
Biggers on the carry again, or on the carry I should say, gets to the 35, but a flag comes in at the end of the play.
Foul. Face mask. On the defense.
A big mistake there for the Chargers, giving up 15 yards and a first down for Carroll when they had him in another third down situation.
First down for the Dragons.
This is oftentimes the type of thing that hurts Carroll opponents. Ball up to the 19 for the Dragons. Biggers motions out of the backfield. Renda looking end zone. Boyd caught. Touchdown, Carroll.
What a job by the Carroll offense. I tell you what, you talk about the setting the pocket with this offensive line. He has all day to throw, really allowing Renda to see this play develop. And you see Boyd get in between the coverages and find his spot and sit right in between the twin brothers, the Taylor brothers, and a great job by Boyd on finding the end zone and getting a touchdown for the Dragons.
19 yards on the score. Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. The extra point by CLC Roofing, and Gavin Strange converts it to put Carroll on top 14-0 with 3:28 to go in the second quarter. Chargers have it next with under 3.5 to go in the first half on the Dragon Sports Network.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
14-0 Carroll as Gavin Strange puts the foot in to the football. Kickoff lands in the end zone for a touchback. And Central hanging in there against the Dragons here early. And Robert, head coach Eric Vance said, the Trinity game for them, their district opener, was a little bit of a wake-up call, a 45-7 loss. But since that game, they've been in every contest each week.
Well, he thinks they should be no worse than 7-1 right now. And he felt that they had some ability to play with Trinity, and they just, played really, really flat and got dominated. And he had really, a long talk with this team about, what it's like, how to accept it, the role of competing and really competing and doing those things. And he's trying to prepare this team, to say, you've got the skill, you've got to have the will to do it and understand how to play, especially if you get down. And I bet, if I know Coach Vance, he's been preaching that all week to this Charger team is, you had an opportunity versus Trinity, you lay down. You can't lay down to this Dragon team or it's going to get embarrassing. And he's got these guys up, he's got them fighting.
Jeremiah Parker on that reception on first down. Second down play, Taylor going to keep it, tried to dump it off, but led his receiver too far. Intended for Vincent Beck.
Again, great job by William Chin getting there and applying the pressure. And that's where, if you're going to develop as a player, and especially Taylor as a quarterback, you've got to be able to understand how to throw, under duress, and you've got to do those things. So that's the only thing on film that you see from this quarterback that, he has a difficult time doing. And it's a tough time with this Dragon defense where they can constantly apply pressure.
Big play here. Trying not to give the ball back to the Dragons as Taylor gets rid of it and completes the pass to Jeremiah Taylor, who spun away from a tackle and picks up the first down. The athleticism of Jeremiah Taylor picking up that first down for the Chargers.
So it's on a full display tonight. You're seeing the yards after the catch and his ability to stretch a play out. You've got to wrap up and bring down a player like Jeremiah Taylor.
The Chargers now with a first down. 2 timeouts, 3 minutes to go. They also get the ball first in the second half. Keep it on the ground here. Martin pulling defenders with him towards that Dragon logo at midfield up to the 43-yard line. We're in those middle 8 minutes where coaches talk about that swing, and it feels very consequential tonight.
Well, you gotta love that, this Central team is coming back and they're trying to go punch to punch with this Dragon team, and they've been against the ropes, they fought back, and they're doing their best trying to move the ball down the field, and they're having a little bit of success this drive.
2nd and 3. Dragons blitz Chen again. Taylor over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Jeremiah Taylor.
It's going to be a fun combo to watch as these years develop, and if Keller Central ends up staying in this district, which Coach Vance feels that they might slip into the 5A region at some point, just with enrollment. But that's going to be a duo that's going to be fun to watch.
Fossil Creek and Keller ISD already down at 5A. 3rd and short. Dragons show some pressure off that left edge, now change things up. Now they show it off the right side. They bring it. Taylor. Pass complete. Jeremiah Taylor, first down.
Again, the success on the out routes tonight with Jeremiah Taylor is great. They're quick hitters. It's just one or 2 seconds pop going to the sidelines, and they're doing a good job with the separation. Really, this Dragon, corners are giving. They're off the ball about 4 to 5 yards.
Reminder that all first down tonight's brought to you by the Dragon Den. And head down to the Dragon Den here at Dragon Stadium, the official store for Dragon Spirit Wear. First down and 10. Martin trying to get outside. Has a block from the receiver there. Able to turn the corner. Flag comes in after the play. Maybe a hold on that block on the outside.
It looked like 11 got his left arm around the body of the Dragon defender. Let's see what they call.
Holding. Offense. Number 11. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay. First down.
Chris, I'm retiring. That's the first call I think I've got right all year. There we go. I'm developing as a announcer, as a color guy. Thanks.
Happened right in front of us on our side of the field. Good one to try to make the call on. And I don't know that he needed to hold there.
He didn't need to hold.
I think Martin had the corner.
Yeah.
Or had the edge.
I think he had the edge, and I think that's just experience and getting out there. And it's not an easy block, but it happens.
So 1st and 13. They bring Parker in motion. Taylor looking to throw. Flushed out, has some room on the right side, going to heave it down the middle of the field for Vincent Beck. This is going to be caught inside the 20-yard line. Let's see where they mark him down, all the way inside the 15.
Timeout. Officials timeout for injury.
But you talk about here, you see Taylor, he's looking off on his left side. It's not there. He's got some pressure, he's rolling out, and this is where he becomes an athlete, throwing on the run. Great job delivering a strike to number 9. And I tell you what, extending plays, this is what Taylor does.
And a Dragon player down after that one. And while they take a peek at the Carroll player who was injured, we'll take a quick timeout as well. 2:10 to go before halftime. Dragons up 14-0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
William Chen walking off on his own. Looked like he just got maybe rolled up on the bottom of that pile after that reception by Vincent Beck. And the resumption of the clock brings us down to the 2-minute timeout here in the first half. So we'll take another break. 2 minutes to go.
Take another break, Chris. Let's get it.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Dragons up 14-0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Jameson All-State Scholar Award for supporting Dragon football.
2 minutes to go in the first half, and Central is in the red zone for the second time tonight. Last time they were down here, they fumbled the ball away. Trying to come up with points on their second trip here before halftime. Both teams still with a couple of timeouts. And we know that the Dragons don't need a lot of time if they get the ball back here before the break. We're on first down. Bring Martin over to the left side of Taylor. No safety back deep for Carroll here. Taylor fakes the handoff. Carroll brings the house, throws it up for the end zone, and overthrows his target. Was looking for his brother, Jeremiah Taylor, but was pressured by the entire Dragon defense.
Oh, this is the area where Isaiah Taylor, he likes to throw the fade routes. He likes to get the one-to-one coverage and throw it up into the end zone. Thought he almost had it there with his brother, but if there's Dragon defense, you've got to keep putting pressure on him, like I've said all night. You've got to get him to quickly throw and force that ball.
It's 2nd and 10. Keep it on the ground with Martin this time. Lowers the shoulder, picks up a couple of yards to the 11. Third down coming up here. Be interesting to see if Coach Dodge uses the timeout to try to get the ball back with a little bit of time.
Well, I think Coach Vance knows that. I think he's going to try to milk as much time as he possibly can. But he also knows he's got to get some points out of this drive, but he's got to keep it out of the Dragon hands.
Again, Carroll showing pressure once more. Chargers looking to the sideline. Clock continuing to tick down. Play clock down to 6. Taylor, this design quarterback run. Cuts up across the 10-yard line. Going to be well shy of the first down. And now Carroll will use its timeout.
Timeout. Carroll, that's their second timeout of the first half.
We will take this timeout as well. Timeout's brought to you by Carroll ISD Special Olympics. 1:08 to go in the second quarter. It's the Dragons 14 and the Chargers nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
So decision time for Central head coach Eric Vance. See if they send the field goal unit on or go for it here on 4th down from the 10-yard line. And they are going to try to kick here. Austin Martin, the linebacker, is also the kicker on this team. We'll try from 27. Snap is down, kick is up. And it is no good. He missed it wide to the left. Martin, who took over kicking duties a few weeks ago for the Chargers, misses here. And it remains a 0 on the board for Central.
Well, that's what Coach Vance mentioned this week was they had some kicking issues that need someone to fill the spot. So he went to Austin Martin. Again, we mentioned he was a player of the year for Central soccer team and said, hey, do you want to kick? He goes, yeah, sure. He goes, all right, you're our kicker. And so, there you go. But, you had to come away with some type of points here if you're the Central offense was getting the ball back at half. But now it's another opportunity knocking for this Dragon offense to try to get some points on the board before half.
65 seconds to go and 1 timeout for the Dragons. Penn motions out of the backfield to the left side. Renda looking to throw over the middle, intercepted. Picked off by who else? Martin. Cutting across the field to the 15, slips a tackle there inside the 10, inside the 5, and returns it out of bounds inside the 3-yard line. Martin slow to get up the back end of this play, but we take another look at it.
We talked about the athleticism of Martin.
For injury.
And getting up and making that interception. He is an athlete. He's a guy who stands out on the field. He plays sideline to sideline. And what moves, and this is always dangerous territory if you're on the end of the receiving end of the interception. Great hustle play by Kerry Clayton, number 51, on saving a potential touchdown. Again, opportunity knocks, and Central's taking advantage of every opportunity tonight.
They're continuing to take a look at Martin down inside the 5-yard line. Would be a big loss for this Chargers team, as much as we've called his name tonight.
Huge loss. He's a big part of this, the heartbeat of this team. We talked about, he's everywhere from kicker to linebacker. Just does a tremendous job for the Central team, and this guy, Coach Vance, absolutely adores.
But is back up, walking gingerly. They'll take him straight back to the locker room. See if they can get him a little bit of treatment here before halftime.
Looks like that's an ankle.
Yeah. We'll see if we see him in the third quarter.
He's a heck of a player.
But the immediate task at hand now for this Dragon defense, 1st and goal for the Chargers offense. Ball at the 3. They keep it on the ground. Flags fly. Taylor into the end zone for the touchdown, but there is a flag down on the near sideline.
Illegal formation. 5 in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 1st down.
Again, Chris, we talk about shooting yourself in the foot, and what teams do against Southlake is sometimes they are their own worst enemy and getting the penalty on a touchdown, this is not good for any offense. You're pushing yourself back, and now you're going to have to open up the offense a little bit to try to get to the end zone. This again, bad start for Central, good opportunity for the Dragons.
It backs him up to the 8-yard line. We'll see what offensive coordinator Brandon Clay dials up. Taylor trying to keep it again. Another flag comes out. He's going to be stopped forward progress after a gain of 2. We may have the same penalty.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And you see one of the receivers, Braylon Dixon, on that far sideline asking one of the coaches where he needs to be, you would think.
Yeah, you're not lining up. You're not getting set right, so they're counting you as part of the backfield. They just brought Boyd here at right corner as well as the Dragon defense.
Got to match up athleticism with Jeremiah Taylor over there, thinking they might go to that fade you were talking about. They motioned a couple guys out of the backfield to the right side. This may be another penalty.
Timeout. Carroll. That's their third and final timeout of the first half.
Oh, the Dragons use a timeout with 37 seconds to go in the second quarter. Is that something where the Dragons saw that motion out to the right side and wanted to stop the clock before they got a chance to snap the ball?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were obviously something they didn't like, on the offense that they saw. So, and that's what Central loves to do. They love to get that immediate sprint out.
The game clock to 40 seconds
to try to create the matchups on defense and create opportunities. So wise timeout to get a reset, refocus, and again, you've got to. Central's been their own killer on this drive, but you got to get after Taylor. You can't let him make his plays with his legs.
Now that the ball is backed up to the 13-yard line, you'd think they might need to go to the air once or twice here trying to get it into the end zone. And you got fade to Jeremiah Taylor, what you think?
I think you've got to get something out there in the fade, in the corner end zone, something to create some separation, a jump ball, use the athletes to your advantage.
Now Boyd matched up on Braylon Dixon. Receiver at the bottom of your screen. Taylor goes out to the right, throws end zone, overthrows his intended target. Was looking for his brother, Jeremiah.
Big hit by Browse. He's been doing that a few times
Officials
tonight.
timeout for injury.
There's a Central player down inside the 15-yard line. As both teams go to their respective sidelines while they take a look here.
Chris, it feels like this last 3 to 4 minutes has been a quarter of its own, essentially.
It's been a slow last few minutes of the half. A lot of stoppages, a lot of penalties. Well, coming up, we got the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. You booked yourself.
I did.
As a guest today, along with your sister, Karen
And
Clayton
Karen
Young.
just joined the booth with us. We're excited to talk a little shop, a little real estate, a little history of Southlake and our time being here, and what an incredible experience it is.
Player is up for the Chargers along the far sideline. One of the running backs, Aiden Tucker. And again, another player that they're going to take back to the locker room here with under a minute to go before the half. 2nd and goal for Central from the 13. Parker goes in motion. Little misdirection play. They give it to Martin, trying to find some running room up the middle. Nothing there. He is stopped at the 11. Still one timeout, or 2 timeouts rather, for Central. And they're going to use one here.
Timeout. Central. That's their second timeout of the first half.
We'll take it as well. Timeout's brought to you by Dragon ISD Carroll ISD Special Olympics. 14-0 Carroll on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
Third and goal from the 11 for Central here. Taylor looking to throw, has a little time, now flushed out to the right, hit from behind, ball comes out. They're going to rule an incomplete pass. William Chen applying the pressure, hit Taylor as he threw, and that one falls incomplete.
No, Chris, that was Zach Hayes. Welcome back, Zach Hayes. You're talking about getting in on the third down situations, and what a pass rush, just beats the left tackle, and what hot pursuit onto Taylor, delivers a blow onto Taylor. What a hit by Zach Hayes.
So remember, Martin went back to the locker room. This is Lauder, the kicker, who had started the year in this role for Central. His field goal try is up, and this one is good. So Jace Lauder comes in and converts the field goal to get the Chargers on the board with 12 seconds to go in the first half.
And great job by the mentality of the Carroll defense. You bent a little bit, but you didn't break. Coming out there with 3 points is great. And I think Central just shot themselves in the foot. I think that's going to be the mantra that Vance takes in the locker room, is that, guys, you're competing with the number one team in the state, and you've had it on the ropes a few times. You've got to finish it, and I think that's the youth of this team coming out. But they've got to find a way to keep winning, and this Charger team has nothing to lose.
So they'll kick it away to the Dragons with 12 seconds left. And again, Central, remember, was in a tie with LD Bell for the fourth playoff spot in District 4-6A.
Kicking off for the Chargers, game number 21, Chase Laughter.
Bell right now at Byron Nelson, losing 28-3. Oh, Bobcats all over the Blue Raiders in that one. So Lauder will kick it away here. And another self-inflicted mistake here by Central as the kickoff goes out of bounds. No time goes off the clock. And Carroll gets it at the 25.
You
never know if you're Coach Dodge, if you're going to run it, or you may take a shot here.
I think you got to take a shot. You have no timeouts, right? So you essentially maybe have a play.
Kick out of bounds, kicking team. The ball be spotted at the 30-yard line. First down, Carroll.
I think you've got to stretch the field. You got to go vertical. You got to get deep, or you've got to find some type of quick out route that's 10, 15 yards down the way, and then try to hit another end zone shot.
They'll put Isaiah Taylor back in at that deep safety and swing him over to the side of the field where Brock Boyd is, along the Dragon sideline at the bottom of your screen. They'll give it to Penn on first down. Big hole up the middle across midfield. Carroll going to try to hurry and spike it, but they may just not have the time. They're still moving the chains. Renda gets the ball down. Chains were not set.
Great hustle by the Dragon offense.
2 seconds on the clock. And now certainly within range for Angelo to take a shot at the end zone. Again, Brock Boyd, lone receiver at the bottom of the screen. They go 3 receivers left. Knowles at the top. And Central will use a timeout here.
Central. That's their
Before
third and final timeout of the first half.
Before this final play of the half. So Eric Vance wanted to take a second to talk this over before a likely shot at the end zone by the Dragons. What are you telling your secondary if you're the Chargers?
Don't let them in the end zone. Pretty simple, Chris. Don't let them catch it in the end zone.
You just have a safety at the goal line.
Let's not give up a cheap one here at the end. But what I do love seeing is that we talked about Coach Vance, and he's a guy who used to be on the Carroll staff a while ago, and what a great coach he is. And you're seeing a little chess match here between coaches on figuring out coverages, defenses, and offenses, and they've done a great job so far. And they're going to put everyone back and preventing. They're not going to allow Brock Boyd to get this touchdown.
Yeah, they've got 4 defensive backs down around the 10-yard line. Orenda, you would expect, would have some time here. They're going to give it to Penn with some running room along the sideline, and Davis is going to be tackled as he goes out of bounds along the Dragons sideline, and that will do it for the first half of play. So Carroll with a 14-3 lead on Central, the tightest margin the Dragons have had at the half all season as we head into the locker room. So coming up next, we'll have our Feed Store Barbecue halftime show on the Dragons Sports Network.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place, from the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched. We're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Stephen Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Welcome into the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show at Dragon Stadium as Carroll leads Central 14-3 after 2 quarters of play. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton, who is also our guest tonight, along with Sister Karen Clayton Young, Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, our pregame show sponsors here on our broadcast. Also, big Dragon football sponsors in general. You can see the signage all over the stadium. Thanks for being one part of the broadcast and our pregame sponsors.
You bet. Well, we're excited. Well, thank you, Chris, for having me tonight.
I know,
and my sister Karen. Thank you.
I know it's an odd dynamic here. So you're already on the broadcast.
Someone mentioned this to me earlier this year. So what? You're just going to interview yourself and your sister's going to come up there? Like, that's awkward. I go, 100% it's awkward. That's how I live my life, Chris.
So first year sponsoring the pregame show. skip around a little bit here, but first year sponsoring the pregame show, that's what big title sponsor there. What was the initiative? What was the inclination wanting to get involved from that aspect?
Well, I think, and Karen can speak to a little bit as well, is that Carroll's been such a huge blessing just in our life. Just because this program has given so much to all of us. I mean, I'm talking the lessons, the memories, the relationships, and Carroll athletics is more than just about winning games. It's about building character. We talk about teamwork and pride in the community. Giving back, for us, I think helps ensure future generations of Dragons have the same opportunities and experiences that help shape us. It's a way of saying thank you, and I think there's not a better way of saying, we're entrenched in this community. We're not going anywhere, and we want to help. We want to help anything that we do, and if you call our name, Karen and Rob are going to step up.
That's right. I feel like it's an easy one for us. It's kind of where our passion meets our purpose, if you will. We firmly believe that if you do good things for others, good things will happen to you. We know that what it takes to make things successful, it's a lot of hard work by a lot of people. High school athletics is such a brief chapter in the journey of life, and in our case, one of the most impactful. Yeah. If we can help make this chapter more meaningful to the young Dragons in this community, we're going to do it.
You guys are both Carroll High School graduates. Karen, you have kids who have come through Carroll ISD. Of course, plenty of nieces and nephews who have come through the district as well. So lots of Dragon memories for you guys, whether it be your own or from other family members. What are some of the ones that really stick out to you?
I would say my most fond memory is, I don't know if you know Chauncey Willingham. He was the basketball coach back when I was playing back in the day, and he always did a great job of teaching us, the value of family, hard work, and being involved in the community. And I can remember every year, and I still talk about this all the time, about how he would take us around the community to sing Christmas carols to the elderly and those that needed a little of cheer in their life, and not only did it bring them joy, but it also brought us joy as well. So that, I would say, that's probably my favorite memory playing, and most something that I often talk about now.
That's an awesome touch around the holidays. Robert, you've got a lot of Dragon memories as well.
Well, number one, I think when we moved here, I was seventh grade. I was 5'6" and 195 pounds, and I walk in the weight room, and Bob Lebeter sees me there, and he goes, "Robert, you're going to be my next linebacker." I go, "There's no way, Coach. I can't even touch my toes. I'm going to be a lineman." I already knew what was going to happen. But I think just being here for over 30 years, there's countless memories that come to mind. But I think as an athlete, I hate talking about it, but 1998, we played in the Texas Stadium against Stephenville in the semifinals versus an Art Browse team, and we lost in the last minute. And I can still feel that moment. I can feel the weight of it, the pride, the heartbreak. It's something that I really carried with me, and I think it's been a positive in my life. Would have loved to have got a state championship, but we were so close. But I think what really matters most, Chris, is it's not the wins or losses, like we mentioned, why we're here and why we support athletics. It's the locker room. It's the bond between the teammates, the laughter, the moments before the kickoff. Looking up in the stands, seeing mom and dad cheering, like tonight in senior night. I remember my parents. I always had to look for them in the stands before every game to make sure they were there. It's those simple gestures that meant everything. And I think now watching a new generation put on that same green and black, fills us with pride, and now waving to them, being able to be on the broadcast, seeing young athletes chase their dreams, some of whom I've watched grow up since they were little children and kids, now being part of the next chapter. Some of them, I've helped get their next home, and Karen has too. Athletes that we've seen growing up here that we've represented them and got their homes after they got through college and graduated as a Dragon. It's just a beautiful reminder how this community can come full circle. And I tell you what, I think we're the luckiest people around.
And coming through Carroll, you guys mentioned 98, graduated, senior year was the following year. How have you seen the community, the school, the district kind of grow over the last 25 years or so as this next generation comes through?
Well, for me, I think you truly don't understand what it means to be a Dragon until you're gone. For me, I went on to play at TCU, and being around my teammates, we often talked about our past experiences and kind of what their schools were like, and it makes you truly realize how incredible this community is, and it was like that back then, just on a smaller scale, and seeing my daughters in the same green and white it just fills me with pride, and it's a pretty special feeling.
Yeah, and I think you hear a lot of protect the tradition, and I think you hear that word said an awful lot just with the generation now, and we're lucky enough to be part of that generation that talks about protecting it. And I think, whether you're protecting what happened here before or what's going to come forward, you've got to be present in this time. And I think, for us, it's just opened so many doors, just relationships and what we've done here. And the city has grown so much. And when we were here, when we moved in, it was on the cusp of it. You were in the transition phase from a small farming town into what is becoming today, or what it is now. And it was an incredible time to be here. And I tell you what, I love it even more here. And that's why we're here. I think that's why Karen's, she set roots here as well and raised two wonderful daughters, her and her husband Corey, and her daughter is, I think, the opportunity. She's at USC, won a national championship. Her younger daughter is absolutely incredible on the volleyball court. And I think you do that by a great community, and I think this community hasn't changed since we've been here, and that's what makes it remarkable.
Well, Karen, Robert mentioned your daughter's playing volleyball for the Dragons. What's that been like as a parent, having played for the Dragons growing up and seeing them wear the same colors, even if it's on the court in a different sport?
It's a little bit of it's just nostalgia and pride and all of that into one. I mean, it's almost, they're volleyball, I was basketball, so the sport is much different. But to see them be able to be a part of a community and a team that is so close, and the values are the same, the teamwork and the value of community and academics. I love it for them, and just enjoy every second of it.
Well, I feel like all of your answers up to this point have kind of answered this question as well, but why do you feel it's important to get involved and to give back to Dragon Athletics?
Well, I think number one is just, I think, Karen, I look at Karen, she's lived it with her family already, right? I mean, she's raised her daughters here, and part of that is what she's given back and what she's done, and I think it's if you're an alumni and you're back in the community, you kind of feel that, I wouldn't say it's not a burden on you, but you feel like you've got to give back because you had such a positive experience here. And I don't know, most places, I don't know if they have that, and firm believer in what the Dragon culture does is, you're raised as a Dragon from kindergarten all the way to when you graduate. And it's something remarkable. And I can only speak of people we're involved with. I think, even my friends now, I grew up with, there's about 20 of us, and we're all back here in Southlake, raising families, trying to raise families, and we're so blessed.
We are blessed, and I thought about this while Robert was talking, was I have to thank my husband, because it literally was 2 months before Kaylee started kindergarten. I looked at him and I said, she starts kindergarten in 2 months and we need to move immediately. He smiled and he said, okay, sweetie. And I just knew we had to be here because I wanted that same experience and that, the ability to grow in this wonderful community for them.
Well, and it's crazy too, Chris. I'll just say as a side note, after I got done playing at UTEP after high school, I was out down in Austin playing arena football, and Karen was living in Austin. Stories are for another time, but Karen was actually...
Those might have to be off the mic stories.
They had to do with a lot of Jack in the Box tacos on many nights. I was an arena ball lineman. I was a grown boy. But we had, Karen was pregnant with Kaylee, and going through that, living with them. And I did live with Karen for a while, and I'm sure that's an experience of its own for Karen just having to live with me, or me living with her. There's a lot of stories, but I know the impact when Karen was pregnant was on the tip of her mind was always, how do we get back to Southlake? how do we get back? We want to raise our family there, and how do we get closer from Austin up there? And it relatively happened within probably 3 years, 4 years of that. So it's always been a destination.
And I think we want that for other people. So I think we get a lot of, old friends or, referrals that say, we want to get in the school district. So Robert and I take a lot of pride in we're going to find that. Like, you're going to give us that job. We are absolutely going to find you because we know your kids need to be in this district. We value, we know what it does for children. So I think that brings us back home as well.
That's what I had. I had two realtors, a team out of Prosper called me 2 days ago. And I always love it when someone from your industry calls you about them wanting to move here, but there's no benefit on the realtor side for me.
Right.
But to have the conversation about what it's like in Southlake and where you should be at,
yes,
that's the value. And not only do they call, but they keep calling back and asking questions because they know, we've been here for such a long time. We understand the community. We understand where to go.
Well, it's a nice transition into
your
Chris? Business. Yeah, because we've talked a lot about your backgrounds and your family's backgrounds in Southlake. But let's talk a little bit about Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Tell us a little about the company, what you guys have going on right now.
Well, I'll give you a little background. So basically, in essence, is a third-generation real estate expertise, if you will. We began with our grandfather, who was a developer in Fort Worth, and followed by our father, who took on development both on the commercial and residential sides. And he collaborated with industry giants like Texaco and 7-Eleven. And during the housing boom, our parents started building homes, and we're very successful and very good at it. And in fact, a lot of neighborhoods here in Southlake, and as little kids, I can remember us being captivated by the thrill of the job sites, anticipating the next concrete pour, and fostering those friendships with our contractors who feel like family to us now.
Job sites, notoriously safe playgrounds for kids.
For the Clayton family.
Yeah. Big people, big tractors. It goes well, all hand in hand with each other. But we learned a lot. We learned a lot on just the grassroots of taking a piece of dirt and making it into something beautiful and making something for our family. And I think that's as simple as it gets. And our parents did such a great job on developing and getting subdivisions. And and I'll tell you, just in terms of what we want to offer, I think we deliver kind of a white glove experience, with a boutique approach, and from design, staging, pricing, to open houses, marketing, mailers, video brochures, email outreach, agent connections. We create a plan specifically for our clients. And I think with the over 30 years in Southlake, the market knowledge, we've seen this community grow into what it is today. I think our background, like Karen mentioned, in building the local roots, the personal attention sets us apart. You won't be handed off to assistants, and I think that's what we take pride in. We, you talk to us. We're going to sell your property, and the biggest thing is we don't passively sell your property. We're actively selling. That's one thing, a big trait my father taught us. Was you've got to get hands-on, and he was a big believer in Zig Ziglar, and he wanted to make a difference, and he felt if you're getting hired to do something, you're the difference maker, not somebody else. And so, I think, when you work with us, your family, and we build lasting relationships, and that's truly why we say we're dragons representing dragons.
And if you ever need a last-minute housekeeper for something, that's how we made money in college. Is when we'd come home, we'd say, our parents would say, we need this house made ready for, the client. So we would clean it, and we would make extra money. So if anybody needs an extra house cleaner, we'll send Robert your way.
I'll give Robert a call before the holidays.
Listen, Chris, I will tell you this. You'll be surprised the times you find that we've got to get a house ready, and Karen and I are in our sweats and our sneakers, and we have the paintbrush, we have the squeegee, and no matter what, we're going to hit that deadline and get it done. There are no excuses in our playbook. And so, that's the beauty that we learned from just our family is you've got to get it done, and we're going to get it done, and we're going to find every way possibly to get it done.
Well, zooming out a little bit bigger picture, what are some of the trends we're seeing right now in the market for buyers and sellers?
We're seeing experiencing a notable shift with an increase in inventory, and I feel like there's a more balanced dynamic with buyers and sellers. we're still seeing that well-maintained and move-in ready homes are still selling quicker and at a better price point than others.
Yeah, I agree with Karen. I think you're seeing homes and inventory has increased, but homes are still going. If they're sitting on the market, there's probably something that's lacking, and whether that might be the staging or getting it done or whatever it might be. I think rates are looking better. Rates have been dropping, but even though this week the Fed came out and lowered rates, but actually you saw a raise in mortgage rates. And some people out there listening, you might not understand that that interest rate for mortgages isn't tied to the Fed rate. That's only tied to a 10-year Treasury. And so, it doesn't affect 30-year, bond prices. And so, you saw a little spike up, so there's not a direct correlation. But I think over time, the expectation that rates are going to keep coming down gradually. You're at 6.2, 6.3, 6.4, somewhere around there. I think we're poised for the spring market to look pretty hot and heavy. I mean, that's we feel a lot of people are on the sidelines right now ready to get active back in the market.
You talked a lot about your business, your families, Carroll Athletics. What are some of the other things in the community that you guys are involved in?
Well, the girls and I are involved in the National Charity League here in Southlake, and that's a phenomenal organization and very proud and honored to be a part of that. We also volunteer a lot at the Grace and Grapevine, Stepping Stones. We love Feed Our Children, and recently had started and loved our experience with the Miracle League. So.
Yeah, and don't forget, Karen's also a team mom. She's been a team mom for a long time.
We're all team moms.
But
it takes a lot of people.
She's an awful lot, and I think on my end, I'm part of the Dragon Classic, which was alumni based, and we try to bring in local businesses in, and we're one of the top donors to CEF, where we bring in almost probably $40,000-$50,000 a year to donate back to the teachers. This year we're looking for a banner year in the spring. We had 216 golfers in that, and we're looking to hit another incredible rate in terms of the give back to the community. Also work as the chairman for the Hall of Honor, and so we'll have some of those individuals here, which, if you didn't know, Karen's actually an inductee of the Hall of Honor as well. She's a Hall of Famer here at Southlake. Incredible. She's a parade All-American.
Here we go.
Dad's not here, so I'm gonna.
They make me look way better than I ever was.
She's the best athlete in the family. I'll tell you that by far. And then also work on the Dragon Touchdown Club, and I devote some time to Dragon Youth football as well, on coaching. But it's just part of our blood. We love giving back, and we love just being part of the community. We don't like sitting back. We like being a part of the solution.
All right, Karen, this is where it comes to crunch time. The last few weeks, each guest that we've had at halftime has come on and made a prediction. I don't know if we last week, Chad Cross from CLC Roofing came on, predicted a state championship by 21 points. The week prior to that, Pastors from White's Chapel came on and predicted one by 14 points. So no pressure here, but any postseason predictions for Dragon football? We are at a football game, and also for the volleyball team, which just started the playoffs as well.
Well, I'll say I'll speak for the volleyball team as well as football team, but I think the volleyball team, in all my years of being a mom in this program, this is hands down the team with the best chemistry I've ever seen. The young ladies are like sisters. They hang out all the time together. They truly love one another, and I think they'll be in the state final match, no doubt. And as far as for football, there's no question, hands down, state champions out here on the field, scoring 33 points.
That's a big margin.
They're good.
I love it. I love
really
it.
Good.
I love it.
Robert, I guess you're the guest this week as well, so.
Chris, you know my green Kool-Aid, and I drink it all the time. And I'm going to say it. I believe the green. I'm saying state championship in volleyball. It's going to be a dynamic year for those Lady Dragons. They play out in Lubbock on Tuesday, which I think we're going to be able to stream through an app as well. So if you're at home, you can watch them play, and follow that march. It's a very talented group. And a group that has a lot of high-level players going to the next level. And the Dragon volleyball team or football team, I'll tell you what, Chris. I want to be here if we're not going to state championship, right? Just win. How about them Dragons?
Nice.
But yeah, it's an exciting year. It's an exciting year. So,
well, Karen, thanks for making the time to come up here at halftime. Robert,
thanks so
same
much.
to you. Thanks for making the time.
I'll stick around for the
All
second
right, cool.
half. Okay?
And if anybody wants to get in touch with you guys, what's the best way to do that?
Well, guys, you can see our beautiful mug shots on the screen right here.
Mine's probably about 15 years old. I'm not gonna lie.
And you got to love Karen's 55 and her old picture and then her TCU picture. But literally, you go to that QR code right there. It's going to take you directly to our website with our contact information, or go to www.dragonrealtors.com.
All right, awesome. Well, guys, thanks for the time. The score at halftime: Carroll 14, Central 3. We'll take a break. Come back with a little bit more on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show after this on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons.
Dragons up 11, 14-3 at halftime as we continue on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton as we take you through some of the first half stats courtesy of Monty Clegg. For the Dragons in the first half, 56 yards through the air, 128 on the ground. Angelo Rendas 7 for 11, those 56 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Davis Penn, the leading rusher for Carroll, 11 carries, 116 yards and a score. Through the air for the Dragons, Brock Boyd, 2 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown. 2 catches each for Brody Knowles and Caden Mackey, 1 for Blake Gunter tonight. For the Chargers, the quarterback Isaiah Taylor, 10 of 18, but just 4 of his last 10 through the air. On the ground, he's also carried 7 times for 9 yards, and Spencer Martin has carried 13 times for 45 yards, so 54 rushing yards for the Chargers so far. They're just 4 of 12 on third down and have played the Dragons tight tonight. They do get the ball first in the third quarter, but have committed some penalties, had a couple of turnovers that have kind of shot themselves in the foot. Also a couple of injuries we'll be keeping an eye on as players left the game in the second quarter for both Carroll and Central, so we'll keep an eye on those as the teams get ready to come out for the third quarter of play. They've started to come back out onto the field and get loose, so we'll take one more timeout before we start the second half. The score at halftime, Carroll 14, Central 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
As a Dragon, it's all...
Ready for the start of the third quarter as the Dragons retake the field here in Southlake, leading 14-3 at halftime. Carroll 24 minutes away from completing a 10-0 season for the second straight year. It will be Central ball to start the third quarter. And Robert, one big thing we'll be keeping an eye on when the Chargers take the field on defense will be if linebacker Austin Martin is on the field. He was helped off late in the second quarter and doesn't look like we're going to have to wait. He is on this kick return team in the center of the field. So good to see him back out there. And for Carroll, William Chen walked off with an apparent upper body injury. So we'll see if Chen is back out there for Carroll.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to keep both of those players off the field. I've already seen Austin Martin back in, but William Chen's a warrior himself, and it's going to take everything in the world for him not to get on the field, I'll tell you that.
So Gavin Strange will kick it away for the Dragons to start the third quarter. Central didn't gain a ton of yards offensively, but they maintained possession long enough in the first half to keep this one close. High end-over-end kick going to be fielded by France at the 10-yard line. Running across from right to left, has a couple blockers out in front, and is going to be brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Gavin Gooden in coverage.
So, Chris, looking back at Central the first half, what are some of the things they've done good? And I think, at times they were able to establish a running play a little bit. But I think really, if you were to give a summary of that first half, is really the receivers on the edge, getting out in those out routes, and Taylor being able to get some time and delivering those passes. They're going to need that here this second half.
They start with two backs in the backfield. Taylor going to keep it, has his jersey grabbed. It gets away from Browse. Now some running room down the left sideline. Has a first down as he steps out of bounds. Marcus Browse had him dead to rights, and Taylor able to scamper free and pick up a first.
I don't know if it's number 12 he's wearing, but it gives you flashes of Randall Cunningham back there on escaping on the pocket. And I tell you what, you got to wrap up, and Browse was right there. But he's so difficult. He is such a good player that he can create something out of nothing.
A Dragon Den first down for the Chargers. Again, two running backs in the backfield. They keep it on the ground. Martin gets it, hit behind the line and dropped. First one there for Carroll was Jake Lucky, bursting through the middle for the stop and flexing afterwards.
The big man gets a flex. You gotta love it. He makes the number 0 look beautiful, and what he can do at that line of scrimmage is even prettier. He just controls that A gap for this Dragon defense.
So Martin loses a yard on first down. Central has used a lot of play clock really all night. Keep it on the ground. France trying to bounce it outside on the left. Goes out of bounds along that Chargers sideline. And I don't know if that's a lesson you take away from watching that LD Bell game, but using clock against this Dragon defense has proved to be effective the last 2 weeks.
Well, I think you do, right? I mean, any team that plays this Dragon team, if you're going to have success, you've got to get a ground game going. You've got to chew up some clock. You've got to keep that offense off the field from getting into rhythm, and they're doing a good job.
Third down from the 39. Dragons showing pressure, creeping up to the line. They bring it. Taylor under pressure. Two guys get to him in the backfield and take him down for the sack. Jake Lucky getting there along with Austin Busman for a huge loss on the play.
What a play by Austin Busman. And you talk about this first series has been all Jake Lucky. Watch the big man just rumbling and stumbling and getting back in the backfield, creating havoc for Taylor. And then Busman comes and finishes it. Lucky cleans it up.
A loss of 13 on the play. All sacks tonight brought to you by Life's Medicine. Start your ultimate recovery with Life's Medicine, located on Southlake Boulevard. Parker Harris on the return, dancing at the 50-yard line, has blockers along the Carroll sideline and forced out of bounds at the 20. Big return for Parker Harris to set the Dragons up in great field position.
Chris, I just watched Blake Gunner put on a hit that gave me chills. If you can watch him at home, he's going to be on the left side of the perimeter of the screen. You'll see him come in right now. He uses his body as just a straight missile, and what a block. Springing Parker Harris just for a few more yards and gets a pancake on top of it. Incredible job by this Dragon special teams.
A Dragon ball at the 20-yard line. And we saw Carroll take a 14-0 lead into the locker room last week, come out and outscore LD Bell 35-0 in the second half, trying to put together a similar second half here, and they complete the first offensive play of the third quarter to Brock Boyd.
I love it. Get it out to Brock Boyd. Utilize Blake Gunter as one of your most effective blockers on the perimeter and get the playmaker of the ball.
Trips left, Boyd alone on the right side of the screen. Davis Penn gets the carry on second down, close to first down yardage. It looks like it may be third and very short. Penn had a big first half for the Dragons. It'll be third and less than a yard here. They've been rolling safety help over to the side of the field where Brock Boyd is all night. It's Isaiah Taylor over there now. Renda Drops the snap, picks it up, now trying to get outside and run, directing traffic. Pumps will have the first down as he crossed the 10-yard line. Veteran play to pick up the football, keep his composure, and get a first down.
Well, you got to love what he did. He's added to his repertoire over the past few weeks is he gets that gentle point out in the secondary, and it holds the linebacker, allows him to get the first down.
Yeah, for all the defensive player knows, there could be nobody there.
Right.
But you got to respect it. Renda gives to Penn up the middle, inside the 5, spinning forward into the end zone for the second time tonight. Davis Penn with a touchdown. It's 20-3 Carroll.
You got to love it. You get inside the red zone, you lean on your big guys up front. And I tell you what, it starts with Will Barley, Kerry Clayton, and C.J. Johnson. They just part the seas here and watch Penn just find the hole. Gets to the second level, and then this is all Davis Penn. This is finished. This is mentality. Let's get into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons.
Touchdown brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. All of our replays tonight by Recoat Revolution. Gavin Strange puts the extra point through. Brought to you by CLC Roofing with 9:01 to go in the third quarter. It's Carroll 21 and Central 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn ends. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Carroll scores quickly on its first possession of the second half. 4 plays, 20 yards in a minute and 7 seconds as the kickoff is into the end zone for a touchback. And now it is a 3-score game, and Central was unable to get a lot going offensively on its first possession of the third quarter.
This is what's hard when you're going against this Dragon team. And with any team that plays the Dragons, that you got to capitalize on opportunities. And every possession means an awful lot because this Dragon offense, they can make adjustments. They're going to go to the locker room, and they're going to come back to the second half, and they're going to try to exploit from what they've seen in the first half.
Central had its opportunities in the first half, just unable to find the end zone. Taylor looking to throw. Going to take a deep shot down the middle of the field, looking for Jeremiah, and it falls incomplete, overshot him. Luke Busman in coverage.
Continuing Chargers number 4, Jeremiah Taylor.
And you're going to see this. You're going to see this by Taylor. They're going to have to start taking some shots. They're going to have to start being a little more aggressive with their play calling to get the ball vertically down the field. You know, they've got to get points on the board. You know, not 2 or 3 yard gains. They've got to start taking some chances and getting their skill players out there on the side and getting vertical.
A second down. They'll throw again. They go left sideline, complete. This one out of bounds to Braylon Dixon for a short gain up to the 29. It'll be 3rd and 6.
It's forcing out of bounds. This ball to the 29-yard line. 3rd down for the Chargers.
Dragons trying to come up with a 3rd down stop here. Show pressure off that left edge. Here it comes. Taylor trying to roll away from it. Changing directions. Fires down the sideline. Intercepted. Picked off by the Dragons. This is Coons with running room. He could go all the way inside the 10. He will take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Carroll.
it's always tough if you're Taylor. You're scrambling. They're coming from both areas, right side and left side. Then you got to throw across your body down the field, and that's really when pick central happens. Heads up play by Kuntz on just staying home and staying with the receiver and just making a big-time play. Terrific job by Kuntz, pick 6.
It's his second interception return for a touchdown of the season, and has the Dragons on top 27-3. Touchdown brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. Strange on for the extra point. And it is good from CLC Roofing. A quick 14-point swing for the Dragons in the first 3.5 minutes of the third quarter. With 8:34 to go in the third, it's Carroll 28 and Central 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
This kickoff fielded by France, dropped at the 5. He picked it up and was stopped by the Carroll kick coverage team. They're going to give him forward progress to the 6, but fielding kicks has been an adventure for the Chargers tonight. You see that one drop through his hands at the goal line. He got to the 6 before he was taken down. Great coverage there by the Dragons. Landon Harris on the tackle. The Dragons with 14 quick points to start the third quarter.
It's almost exactly what happened to LB Bell last week.
Please put 8 minutes, 30 seconds on the game clock. 8:30. Thank you.
Touchdown run by Davis Penn. The interception return for a touchdown by Taven Kuntz. As Carroll up 28-3. Taylor, design quarterback run, trying to find some breathing room, and has the first down and then some, still on his feet, as he spins forward to the 25-yard line for a Dragon Den first down.
This is what I thought the Charger, offense should have been doing in the first half. You keep the ball in Taylor's hand, allow him to create and get some more runs, let him control this offense. I think at times they put a little too much into the backfield when he's definitely the most dynamic player on this Charger offense.
Yeah, Martin got the bulk of the carries in the first half for Central. So a new set of downs. They swing it out to Martin out of the backfield. He's going to be hit after a short gain. Austin Bussman on the stop.
Great job by Austin Bussman getting there on the flats and making the tackle. But I do love what this Dragon defense is doing. They're getting pressure on Taylor. They've come out here in the first few series and are really making them get in those uncomfortable positions of throwing.
The Central team that is fighting for a playoff spot, as we told you earlier, but a tough schedule for them. They've got the Dragons, of course, tonight and Byron Nelson next week. Taylor design quarterback run again. This time Dragons get into the backfield. He escapes again and is again going to pick up a first down. The shiftiness that this guy has in the backfield sidesteps defenders and moves the chains.
I think they seem to have a play that says, number 12, you just go create. You go crazy. You go paint the picture. You do whatever you want. It looked like he had nowhere to go. What a great job by Taylor in escaping.
Taylor's got 28 rushing yards already on this drive alone. As he looks to throw on first down, gets it away in the backfield. Martin again going to be hit and stopped. Robbie Ladd at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for the Central running back.
That's such a difficult tackle by Robbie Ladd we just made. Making a tackle in space. I tell you what, he's just coming up over and over each week on big-time tackles. Great job by Robbie Ladd there in the flats.
The second down, Carroll back to a four-man front. As they give it to Martin again. Spilling forward close to the 45-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 44. It'll be third down. And these pass rush situations, Zach Hayes back out onto the field for Carroll.
This is where you got to go. The pocket's going to clap quickly. So you've got to be, if you're these Dragon linebackers, you've got to understand that, hey, it's going to collapse. He's going to go. He's going to try to escape. You've got to have your head on the swivel.
Carroll brings everybody up to the line. Nobody back deep for the Dragons here. And Central's done this on a lot of these third down plays. They see the Dragon blitz coming and check out of it. And Carroll backs off the pressure. They rush four. Run a twist up front over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off again by Carroll. This time it's Will Lines on the INT. He returns it to the 40-yard line. And the second interception of the half for the Dragons.
You got to love it by this Dragon defense, just creating opportunities, playing a little bit of games up front, giving a different look for Taylor. And I tell you what, he stared down that receiver, and Will Lyons was locked in. Terrific job on grabbing the interception. This Dragon defense, not only do they hold opponents to minimum scores, but they create opportunities, they create turnovers. Terrific job.
Third takeaway of the night for the Dragon defense. And a fumble recovery in the first half, 2 interceptions here in the second half. And great field position again at the Chargers 40. Mackey motions out to the right side. Renda looking to throw, has all day, takes a shot at the end zone. Boyd knocked away. Good coverage for the Chargers that time. Knocking it away was Gabe Cobbs, the senior safety.
Great job by Gabe Cobbs. He had Boyd there. He had a step on Cobbs, and Cobbs just made a terrific play on the ball.
We talked about the athleticism of this Central secondary. They've had some nice plays on the Carroll receivers tonight.
Well, they can play, and they're a talented group, and I can't stress that enough. If you're listening at home, it's a very talented Central team.
So 2nd and 10 for Carroll. Out of the pistol. Biggers on the carry across the 35-yard line down to the 34. Biggers getting his second series offensively for Carroll tonight.
He's a young man that's come on, and again, a transfer here out of Highland Park a year ago, and done a terrific job and just providing depth in that running back room. He's a guy who's already got offers from Texas State. He's going to be a next-level player as well.
Biggers coming into today, 248 yards, 10 touchdowns on the year. Gets it again here. Big hole up the middle. Biggers trying to make a safety miss and is finally brought down at the 15-yard line as Biggers gets into the red zone with a Dragon Den first down. Dragons moving quickly here.
You got to love the anticipation of the Dragon offense. They're getting to the ball.
Swing it out into the flat. Mackey working to get outside, pushed out of bounds after a short gain.
The sense of urgency of Renda in this offense. You got him on the ropes. You got to finish him off. They're gashing him up front. You got to hit him with a little bit of perimeter pass. Get something over the top. I'm going to call Knowles to the end zone. I haven't hit it once this year, but I'm calling it tonight.
We'll see. On 2nd down. They keep it on the ground. Biggers going to be hit at the line and stopped after a short gain. Maybe next play.
Well, I just said at some point. I didn't say well. Generalities, Chris. Generalities.
Third down here. They're going to go empty backfield for Renda. If you're following along with Robert, Knowles is at the top of your screen. Number 10 alongside Boyd on that side of the formation. 3 receivers left. Jacquemart, Mackey, and Gunter. Renda looking to throw, goes end zone, caught, touchdown, Brock Boyd, second one tonight.
You'll have a man-to-man coverage, no safety help, and it's just Brock Boyd one-to-one, stride for stride. He's going to win every time. And watch the look of Renda, great protection up front. And then Renda sees it, just delivers a strike to Boyd in stride.
Got it over Isaiah Taylor, the quarterback and occasional defensive back for the Chargers. Makes it 34-3 Carroll. Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. So Strange on for the CLC Roofing point after try. Snap is good, a hold is down, and the kick is through. The Dragons all of a sudden just blitzing the Chargers here in the third quarter. 4:25 to go in the third. It's Carroll 35, Central 3 on the Dragons Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Three touchdowns for the Dragons in about 7.5 minutes of game time here in the third quarter to break this one open 35-3. As Gavin Strange will kick it away for the Dragons. It'll be fielded by France. This time he secures the catch. Trying to run right to left and nowhere to go. Stopped at the 10-yard line. Dragon kick coverage. Getting down there in a hurry, Luke Jacquemart down on the stop for the Dragons.
This is where for Coach Vance, we talked about it, what happened with Trinity. You've got to keep your players in the end. This is part of growth and development. You're down 35-3. It's starting to get out of hand here in the third quarter, and you've got to settle them down. You've got to realize, guys, we're working to get better. You've got to make the easy throws, and again, get number 12 out there. Let them create.
So they're backed up at their own 9-yard line. Long field in front of them. 2 backs in the backfield. And this is actually going to be the backup quarterback as they hand it off to Martin on first down. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it is Juan Del Toro, the senior in at quarterback. He's thrown just 10 passes this year, 5 of 10 for 53 yards. Taylor was in coverage on that Boyd touchdown reception, but didn't see anything that would indicate an inability to come back out onto the field.
I don't see that because I just had the binoculars on. I couldn't see anything.
Martin gets it again. All right, check that. This is France on the carry.
France on the sweep carry. Given the tackle made by Browse. That brings up third down.
So third down and 9. I'm going to have to let Del Toro go to the air here. 3 down linemen. Now they keep it on the ground after all on 3rd down from deep in their own territory. Gain of a couple on the play to Martin. And they will punt it away.
I can't tell if there's an injury to Taylor or not. He's played a lot of football tonight on both sides of the ball.
Brings up 4th down. Harris back deep received the kick from number 21, Jace Laughter.
It's over on the sideline, but it doesn't look like he's being treated for anything. Looks like just going over some things with one of the coaches as this punt goes out of bounds, shy of the 50-yard line.
Charger 46-yard line.
Carroll will have it in plus territory again.
Again, another opportunity, and this is, it's a tell 2 halves again. Central did a great job on just possession and keeping drives alive, and I think this half they haven't been able to do that. They've had a lot of costly turnovers, and you're getting where the Dragons love to have the ball. They love at the midfield, gives them a shorter field to work with, really where they excel.
Big lead for Carroll, 35-3 here as Penn goes in motion to the right. Renda gives it to him. Davis working up the middle. Lots of running room as he crosses the 40, 45, or 35-30 and out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. Big run for Davis Penn to move the chains for a Dragon Den first down.
It's not their fancy, just inside zone, and great job by Will Barley, Kerry Clayton, C.J. Johnson, just opening up the lanes here for Davis Penn. And then it's all Davis Penn. You love seeing Davis Penn get back into his rhythm as a running back. He's done a terrific job tonight.
Coming into this possession for the Dragons, they've only had the ball for 2 minutes and 40 seconds in this half, but they've come away with a couple of touchdowns and a pick 6. Penn up the middle to the 15.
Where's Penn at for the night, Chris?
Stop on the Chargers, number 41, Holden Myers. Again, 40 to the 15-yard line.
It'll be second down coming up for Central. Carroll's starting to use a lot of play clock as well. Penn, 158 yards on the ground tonight. Renda looking end zone again. A couple of Carroll receivers try to make the play, and it falls incomplete. Gunter and Boyd collide. Gunter a little slow to get up.
Timeout for injury.
We got another look at both of these receivers trying to make a play on the football.
Looks like they got tangled up. That's tough.
And just a collision there between the two. Gunter being tended to in the end zone right now. And up on his feet. And will jog off the sideline. Or jog to the sideline, I should say. Riley Dodge wants to talk about the play, not just make sure he's okay. Talking about what happened there.
It looks like it's just a little wind knocked out of him, possibly.
It just landed hard.
Landed really, really hard. And that's difficult. You're thrown to a spot. Two receivers are converging to with Boyd and Gunter. Both wanted the ball.
So it's third down coming up for the Dragons after that incompletion with just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Jacquemart into the game at receiver for Carroll. Robert Brody Knowles is all alone on the left side. Renda will throw. Looking left side, dumps it out to Penn. And he steps out of bounds.
He was looking Knowles' ways.
Maybe shy of the first.
He was looking those ways, but Knowles did a great job of clearing out the corner and the safety and giving the opportunity for Penn. Good play call there out of the flats.
They are going to move the sticks. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9.
First and goal for the Dragons.
One safety deep over the middle for Central here. Renda looks left, now looks right over the middle. Wide open into the end zone for the touchdown for the Dragons goes Caden Mackey. Mackey's second touchdown of the year.
Renda had 2 options there. He had Boyd there out on the right side, but great job on finding Caden Mackey just there here on the inside slant route. Great job getting in the end zone. Great reception, Caden Mackey.
Dragon offense in this third quarter, or Dragon as a team, I should say, in this third quarter, come up with 4 unanswered touchdowns. All touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate, as the CLC Roofing point after try is good by Gavin Strange. 1:02 to go in the third. It's Carroll 42 and Central 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Receive the kick.
3 passing touchdowns tonight for Angelo Renda, the last of which goes to Caden Mackey to make it 42-3 Dragons with just over a minute to go in the third. Gavin Strange puts foot to leather and kicks this one into the end zone for a touchback.
Return on the kick. Ball is ruled a touchback. Will come out to the 25-yard line. Chargers will have it 1st and 10.
So we'll see if Taylor comes back out onto the field with this Charger offense. The backup quarterback, Juan Del Toro, was in there on the last series when they ran it 3 times and then punted it away.
All right, Dragons, let's get up on your feet. It's time for you to catch the pizza ball every third quarter this year. It's a Joe's Pizza Giveaway sponsored by Clayton Real Estate. Be on the lookout for the
And Isaiah Taylor will come back out onto the field here. Good to see him back out there. Been playing a lot on both sides of the ball tonight.
He has.
They bring a receiver in motion right to left, and Taylor will keep it on the ground, giving it to France, getting outside, staying in bounds after a short gain.
I think they might be finding a little something here with Anthony France. Chris, not a lot of big plays, but again, you can see the speed on the edge that France brings. He brings a little more dynamic of a running style to this offense. And you see him on special teams as well. Almost break one here and there, but I kind of like that backfield that they have right now set up.
Yeah, Martin was the running back, getting a lot of the carries early in the game. Taylor gives to French, trying to get out and block for him, and he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Not sure if Taylor wanted to pull that out of his belly, but he waited a little bit too long, and France was taking it and running.
Yeah, I think there's a little too much chaos. I don't think he knew what to do, and then you just give it to France. Again, creating something out of nothing there.
That's the end.
That's what I love about those two, Chris.
And that play takes us to the end of the third quarter. All Carroll in the third quarter. Dragons outscore the Chargers 28-0. It's 42-3 Carroll as we go to the fourth on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds. all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Start of the fourth quarter and a third down for the Chargers. Dragons showing pressure, leading 42-3. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you on Halloween night.
Third down for the Chargers.
Taylor looking to throw, pressured. Tried to dump it off to the back out of the backfield. France wasn't looking for the football, and it falls incomplete.
And as we have a moment, I think say a few names for these seniors that have been the big part of this Dragon team. Jake Lucky, Brock Boyd, Angelo Rinda, Davis Penn, Luke Jacquemart, Parker Harris, Luke Bussman, Zach Hayes, William Chen, Taven Kuntz, Marcus Browse, Brody Bourgeois, Preston Perazzo, Cade Holmstrom, Luke McCauley, Robbie Ladd, Austin Bussman, Gavin Strange, Weston Duffy, Hez Rodriguez, Emerson Zadie, Austin Tren, Will Lyons, David Alvarez. We have way more to go too, Chris.
Got a lot to go. Dragons will take over after a third quarter that saw them score 28 points. Carroll only had the ball for 3 minutes and 54 seconds. 3 offensive touchdowns and a pick 6 in that time. That's it's pretty efficient.
It's pretty efficient. I tell you what, it's take advantage of the opportunities, and that's what makes this Southlake team so dangerous. It's what Coach Vance said is, this might be one of the best Southlake teams he's seen in a long time, and he's been here before. And he mentioned that there's really not a weak spot to this team, and it's so hard. He said he had a coach ask him, like, what are you going to do against Southlake? He goes, what do you mean what I'm going to do? So he understands how dynamic and prolific this offense can be.
Renda taking a shot looking for Boyd. It falls incomplete. Good coverage again by Gabe Cobbs. And Central's defense has given up some points here, but they've done a good job on the deep ball today.
They have. They've covered Boyd and company, step for step and created, some problems, and they've been there. They've been step for step, and they've created problems.
Mentioned Vance has been around. He was on the Carroll staff in 2015. Saw him from the other side at Byron Nelson from 2016 to 2019. Coached at Chisholm Trail in 2020. As this one's completed out to Biggers and the flatty goes out of bounds along the Dragons sideline. Was the defensive coordinator at LD Bell for 3 years before taking this job. Graduated from LD Bell, went on to play at Vanderbilt and in the NFL. So he knows football in Northeast Tarrant County very well.
Well, he definitely does, and the biggest thing I'm so impressed with is that he just brings the culture to Keller Central. That we're talking about a program that was 0-10 2 years ago. Now they're competing for a district championship, and you can see that they have talent on the field, and he's building something special with this Charger program.
A third down play here. Penn motions out of the backfield. Renda, under pressure, is just going to step up, try to run for it himself. Bounces it outside across the 45-40 and out of bounds along that Carroll sideline with the Dragon Den first down.
Angelo Renda again, we say it a lot. He's probably maybe one of the fastest players on the field at any given time. And again, even if it breaks down, he has an opportunity. And great job stepping up in the pocket and just making a move. And great perimeter block by Brock Boyd. Again, these are a senior group that's played a lot of football together.
First down inside the Central 40. Davis Penn on the carry. Has them blocking outside. Tripped up as he crossed the 30. Will be close to first down yardage. Let's see where they spot it. And they will move the chains for a Dragon Den first down.
A great job, again, getting behind that interior line of Will Barley, Kerry Clayton, and C.J. Johnson. Get behind some bell cows there, and what a push off the line. And again, workhorse and Davis Penn.
And Central's defense, as it has all night, not playing a heavy box here. 3 safeties deep. They've shifted some things around. Rush 3. Renda looking to throw. Pumps a couple of times. Now flushed out. Goes to the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Dragons. This time it's Blake Gunter on the reception.
Again, you got to love Renda. We talk about creating and just a scramble drill, just getting outside the pocket and playing backyard football and finding Blake Gunter all alone in the end zone. You can see he's staring him down the whole time. His eyes don't get off of Blake Gunter the entire time. He sees that he's there, and what a strike to Blake Gunter, wide open in the end zone for a Dragon touchdown.
Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. The point after try coming courtesy of CLC Roofing out of the hold of Zach Hayes. It is good. So Hayes continues to be perfect on point after tries this year. And with 10:38 to go in the fourth, it's Carroll 49, Central 3 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
And to you, thank you for supporting Carroll ISD Dragon football.
The Dragons up big now, 49-3. Early stages of the fourth quarter. Zach Hayes going to kick this one off for Carroll. Takes 2 steps and just pounds one into the end zone. Zach Hayes showing off the leg strength there for the touchback as we continue to recognize some of these Carroll seniors on senior night. Starting with Manu Chala, senior defensive back, Harmon Hakes, Gavin Tripp, Tyler Sanchez, Nicholas Davidge, Cody Williford, Mac Tyler, Aiden Cavrich, Nate Martin, Thomas Reekers, Kerry Clayton, Vaughn Adams, Hudson Hibbs, as this one is completed along the central sideline. First down yardage. Del Toro in at quarterback now as that pass was caught by Amari Granville. We pick up at Hudson Hibbs, Carlos Galindo, Joe Close, Christian Gonzalez, Nathan Damraki, Cade Randolph, Drew Goff, Robbie Collins. We're getting into those linemen: Nick Wilson, Bolu Ananuga, Carter O'Neill, Dalton Tade, Rafael Otoya, John Mark Fraga, Abhinav Et. All seniors for the Dragons recognized before the game tonight. First down. They give it to France, trying to get outside on the right. Nothing there. Maybe picks up a yard.
Taking the handoff, number 25, Anthony France.
We finish up those Dragons seniors tonight.
We'll finish up with Nathan Starr, Crawford Taylor, Jacob Brokowski, Jackson Oakley, Carter Guidry, Kel Jacobson, Caden English, Ben O'Callahan, and Max Jolly. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for the program, and thank you for being the senior leaders that you are.
Keep it on the ground on second down, maybe a yard or two for France. Again, we're seeing Del Toro into the game at quarterback. for Central. Maybe the end of the night for Isaiah Taylor.
I would assume it probably is. It's say live for another day. There's still some football left in this season. You have a week left, and who knows how it's going to shake out here in the next 5 days for this district.
Yeah, LD Bell losing big at Byron Nelson. So Del Toro pumps under pressure, gets it away, caught at the line of scrimmage, but not much more there for France. But LD Bell losing big at Byron Nelson. Central trailing Carroll right now, and Keller on a bye week this week. Will all be 3-4 going into next week, the final week of the regular season.
Number 21, Chase Laughter in punt formation.
Central will punt this one away with just over 8 minutes to go in regulation here. Parker Harris back to receive. He's going to call for the fair catch and make it.
Fair catch called by number 6, Parker Harris. No return. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. First and 10 for the Dragons.
The Dragons getting the ball back here. As the second offense comes out onto the field for Carroll. Preston Perazzo in there at quarterback. On first down, they keep it on the ground. Running for a first down across the 35-yard line. Dragon Den first down. Gavin Gooden at running back.
Nice little burst by Gavin Gooden.
Who's the ball to the 39-yard line? Again, 14 on the play. And a first down for the Dragons.
Gooden getting some run at that running back spot here. We've seen Penn and Biggers back there tonight. No Phillips or Zadie so far for Carroll. As Perazzo going to keep it here on first down. Tripped up after a short gain to the 30 or to the 41.
You talk about Perazzo, what he's brought to this Carroll offense. I think more than anything as a senior, just providing that depth behind Rinda. And I've said it all season. Riley Dodge impresses Riley Dodge about Perazzo so much that he has command of the offense, and you should see Perazzo at practice. He is right there. He's intent. He's preparing him like he's the number one, and he does an excellent job. And we've seen what he's done with this offense in second halves, and when he's been called upon, he's a very efficient leader of this offense and does a terrific job.
He keeps it again here, picking his way across the 45 to the 47. The other team that could still be in the mix for that playoff spot is Eaton, which right now is trailing at Timber Creek 13-8. Eaton has to win tonight to stay alive.
And that's a Timber Creek team that's barely lost. If you look at, they're better than what their record shows, Chris, and that would be a big one.
Eaton coming into tonight 2-4, so needing a win to get to 3-4 and stay alive. Perazzo keeps it again. Big hit at midfield as he is dropped just shy of the first down marker. And it looks like Riley Dodge is going to go for it here. Letting this senior-laden second unit go for it on fourth down.
Sokudin get all the time he can on this Dragon field.
Perazzo at quarterback. Mentioned Gooden in there at running back. Then the receivers out there right now, Luke Jacomard. Jacob Bobrowski, the tight end, in the slot. They'll keep it on the ground. Gooden trying to get the first down. I don't know that he got there. He did not. A stop by this Central defense, and the Dragons will turn it over on downs.
Myers on the tackle. The Dragons stop short of a first down. Ball goes over on downs to the Chargers.
I don't know that we've seen Carroll stopped on 4th down many times this year, but Central able to do so on that possession. So some of the second defense out there for Carroll now as well. Up front, looking at Nate Martin, Caden Hodges, Sam Erickson, Kyle Duras. Del Toro out of the gun will hand it off to France. Working up the middle, gain of a few. There's some of those linebacker spots for Carroll. We're seeing Austin Trin, Landon Harris, Trent Fergal out there. And as we look ahead for this Carroll team, of course, a bye week in the final week of the regular season, which makes it a little bit harder to predict who the opponent will be. It's on the ground again. France hit at the line, loses a yard on 2nd down. But
we definitely know it's going to be home.
It's going to be
It's going to be here at Dragon Stadium. What we don't know is what day it's going to be. Is it going to be a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday game? I think that's what the question is, and who is it going to be? It's going to be, possibly Crowley. It could be one of the Mansfield teams. That's yet to play out. But again, as soon as we know, which is probably another week until we'll really have to figure it out, we could find some resolution of it after tonight. But that news will be coming as soon as possible.
North Crowley wrapped up
Offside.
District 3-6A.
Number 98, defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
North Crowley wrapped up District 3-6A last night with a big win over Mansfield, 70-21. Right now, Lake Ridge all over Legacy by a big margin, 56-14. Lake Ridge would go to 4-1 in district play. The top 2 teams are also the largest teams in that district, so they would both go Division 1, which leaves a mix of Mansfield, Legacy, Boswell, Crowley looking for those last couple of playoff spots. As this one is completed to Dixon, who gets a first down and plenty more inside the 25-yard line. Last couple of years, Carroll's played Mansfield, Legacy, and Boswell in the first round.
Well, essentially you'll have that. Then probably, obviously if week 1 gets taken care of, you're probably going to be heading out west at some point. Either, it could be several places: Abilene, Odessa, Midland. We played in San Angelo. It depends on stadium availability and who you're playing. Playoffs are upon us, Dragon Nation.
A first down with about 3 minutes to go. France on the carry, stopped in the backfield for a loss by the Dragons.
Dragons on the carry. Dragons tackle to the Dragons number 38, Bennett Hunt.
Bennett Hunt, a sophomore defensive back, on the stop for Carroll. We'll start to see some of these sophomores now pulled up to varsity for the playoffs. Now that the JV season has come to an end, this one completed over the middle. Flag comes in on the play. There's going to be enough for a first down here, but we will see what the call is. The catch was made by Amari Granville. You can see Del Toro throw his head back.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, number 58 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
So plenty of unknowns here for the Dragons going into the postseason. Be a little bit different story if Carroll's bye was earlier in the year and we were playing and say, hey, this happens, this is the result for Carroll, but there's still some playoff spots up in the air.
I tell you what we do know, Chris.
What's that?
There's going to be a lot of appointments.
Carroll, that's their first time out of the second half.
There's a lot of appointments being made for the Blondes.
Have you made yours?
Chris, we're bleaching right here. You and I. We're doing it. Tim, you're doing it too. You're doing it.
Timeouts brought to you by Carroll ISD Special Olympics. 2:19 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick one here. 49-3 Dragons on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
After the penalty, 2nd and 19 for Central here as they bring a receiver in motion. The backup quarterback Del Toro under pressure. They set up the screen for France. Has a couple of linemen, but he's tripped up by the turf monster out there as he crossed the 35.
It is Halloween, Chris.
Timeout. Carroll. That's their second timeout of the second half.
Dragons take another timeout here. We'll stay here with the 2-minute timeout quickly approaching.
Well, Chris, let's talk about the blonde.
You know, I've seen some posts on social media from different salons around the area offering the bleach special going into playoffs.
Okay, so when is our appointment?
I didn't make one. I wanted to wait and see what your availability was.
I'm free tomorrow.
You're pretty flexible?
I'm flexible tomorrow,
right.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever you want to go.
Every day for the next 2 weeks until the playoff starts. Yeah.
We're going to see. I need full commitment, Chris.
We had blonde wigs a couple of years ago.
I know. We flirted with it.
Yeah.
Full blonde, Chris.
What would Taylor think if you came home with bleached hair one day?
She would love it.
Would she?
She would love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, out of this timeout.
Resuming action in the fourth quarter. Ball spotted at the 33-yard line.
Spencer Martin back into the game at running back. You hope that France is okay after kind of limping off after that last carry. Martin going to get it. Spins at the 30. Forward shy of the 25-yard line. It'll be 4th down. And that will take us to the 2-minute timeout.
Timeout. 2-minute timeout.
So we will take this one as well. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter on senior night at Dragon Stadium. Carroll up by 46 on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Central going to go for it here on 4th down. Del Toro looking to throw. This one's going to be nearly intercepted. It falls incomplete. And Carroll will take over on downs.
Yeah, we talk about this Dragon defense. You're giving up only 3 points tonight, as we assume that this is how it will end tonight. I can't tell you the average points is we're barely at 7 points a game that the Dragons are giving up to end the regular season. That's championship level football.
Yeah, if it stays at just 3 points, that would be 74 points allowed this year for Carroll, which is 7.4.
Did we just math? Did we just math?
You know, it's dividing things by 10. I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that.
Like I carried the 1, and I go, I think that's 7.4, and you nailed it.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
But if you look back over the course of the year at the opponent's points for the Dragons, as this offense comes back out onto the field, keeping it on the ground, short gain on first down. Carroll has only given up double figures in points 2 times. They beat Timber Creek 55-13 and Keller 63-28. No one else has scored more than 1 touchdown against the Dragons this year.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
So looking at some of Carroll's neighbors and potential future opponents in the playoffs, Geyer needed a win tonight to clinch at least a share of the district title over in 5-6A. And right now Geyer up on Louisville big, 40-21 in the fourth quarter as Perazo keeps it and is going to be dragged down inbounds near the Carroll sideline. Geyer, a team that Carroll beat in the regional final last season and could be on that
was a
future opponent list this year. That was a very wet game. We had some crazy special teams plays, some high snaps,
domination. It was one of those games. It was one of those playoff games.
Geyer jumped out to a lead in that one, and Carroll used some of those special teams miscues to help climb back in it. Second down. Keep it on the ground, Gooden. Gain of 2 as he crosses the 30-yard line. And Carroll, depending on when they reset the play clock, may not have to snap it again. And I don't think they will. There's about a second difference between the game clock and the play clock. So Carroll appears poised to go unbeaten in the regular season for the second straight year. This is Parker Penson into the game at quarterback. Will snap the ball and get a carry here before time runs out. And we saw Carroll run some plays late last week. This week they will let this thing run out, and the Dragons complete the regular season 10-0 for the second year in a row. We'll have the bye week next week before heading into the playoffs.
What a senior night. Once again, thank you to all the seniors, the years of sacrifice and commitment and dedication to the program. Thank you for leading by example. This is your night tonight. Enjoy the win. Get ready to dye the hair and get ready to be back here in 2 weeks.
Well, the final score tonight at Dragon Stadium, Carroll 49 and Central 3. We'll take a break, come back, wrap things up from Southlake after this on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium, where Carroll beat Central tonight 49-3 as Carroll wraps up an unbeaten regular season at 10-0. District champions at 8-0 in District 4-6A. Central, meanwhile, now 5-4 overall, 3-4 in district play, and still in the mix for that fourth playoff spot based on the results tonight. Still several teams tied at 3-4 in this district. LD Bell goes down to Byron Nelson tonight, so the Blue Raiders are 3-4. Central also at 3-4, and Keller at 3-4. The Indians were on a bye this week, so all three of those teams will play next week for a chance to be that fourth playoff team. Eaton was eliminated tonight due to a loss to Timber Creek that sends the Eagles to 2-5 in district play. Taking a look at some of the stats for tonight's game here in Southlake for the Dragons. Angelo Renda goes 14 for 21, 123 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. 2 of those touchdowns went to Brock Boyd, who brought in 4 catches for 39 yards. 2 went to Blake Gunter and Brody Knowles. Gunter had a touchdown reception. 5 to Caden Mackey for 31 yards. 1 to Davis Penn for 6 yards. On the ground for the Dragons, a huge night for Penn. 16 carries for 169 yards, pushing him close to 600 on the season. He also had a couple of touchdowns. Brooks Biggers, 5 carries for 34 yards. Renda, 3 for 28. And Gavin Gooden, 4 for 18 for the Dragons. On the other side, Isaiah Taylor, the quarterback for the Chargers, goes 12 of 24 for 109 yards and 2 interceptions. Juan Del Toro comes in, goes 3 of 5 in relief duties for 28 yards. Taylor also 10 carries for 24 yards. Spencer Martin, the leading rusher for the Chargers, 18 carries for 71 yards, and Anthony France had 8 for 12. The leading receiver for Central was the quarterback's brother, Jeremiah Taylor, who caught 4 passes for 34 yards. Braylon Dixon caught 3 for 31, 3 for 18 for Jeremiah Parker, and 3 catches but just 1 yard for the running back, Martin. So once again, with the win, Carroll finishes the year 10-0, 8-0 in district play, while Central has one more game to play. The Chargers are now 5-4 and 3-4 in district play, and will battle for that fourth playoff spot next week. The Dragons are off next week. Carroll has played 10 straight weeks since the Friday before Labor Day, and will now finally get its bye. As you see, Riley Dodge with the district championship trophy down on the field with his team. Dragons winning District 4-6A for the second straight year. They've now won 7 district titles in 8 seasons under Riley Dodge. So Carroll will, of course, be in the playoffs with a home game in the first round. We do not yet know when that game will be played or who the opponent will be, but it will be either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday in a couple of weeks. That would be November 13th, 14th, or 15th. So whenever that game is, Robert and I will have it for you right here on the Dragon Sports Network. Once again, the final score tonight, Carroll 49 and Central 3. So for our director, Tim Polster, statistician, Monty Clegg, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying good night. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks on the Dragon Sports Network.
This week's Dragon football broadcast has been brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell Briggs Freeman Sotheby's, Godwin Bowman PC. The Baker Firm Fidelity National Title. Recoat Revolution. The Mark Southlake. Life's Medicine. Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Hearst Autoplex. Southlake Dermatology. CLC Roofing. Patriot Mobile. The Dragon Den. And Mills Wealth Management. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons.